Today's show is going to be quite the long one, but it's a lot of fun.
It's a tough game we play on this platform you crave, chasing clicks and likes in the digital wave. With each upload, our stories unfold.
Hello, Nicody.
The truth is often sold. Oh, screw to the land of the brave, where the algorithms rule and views we crave. From viral highs to simpleton trolls, in this digital realm, anything goes. Friendships tested in the quest for fame. Content creators, most have no shame. With every collab there's trust at stake, but in this world some friendships break. Ooh, anything goes. Screw to the land of the brave, where the algorithms rule and views we crave. From viral highs to simpleton trolls, in this digital realm, anything goes. Crafting tales of truth, some of deceit. Chasing trends in a race we repeat. The pressure mounts as views decline. In the search for truth, where do we draw the line? Screw to the land of the brave, where the algorithms rule and views we crave. From viral highs to simpleton trolls, in this digital realm, anything goes. Fabricating evidence just for the views. A double-edged sword in the news we choose. The line between real and fake is thin, as the audience questions what lies within. Oh, screw to the land of the brave, where the algorithms rule and views we crave. From viral highs to simpleton trolls, in this digital realm, anything goes. Highs are thrilling when the numbers soar, but the lows
Man, that
hard,
rips.
down to the core. The grind continues day after day in the endless pursuit of the viral sway. Oh, screw to the land of the brave, where the algorithms rule and views we crave. From viral highs to simpleton trolls, in this digital realm, anything goes. In the end, it's about the story we tell in the ScrewTube world where we excel. Honesty and trust, our guiding light as we navigate this digital flight. Oh, screw to the land of the brave, where the algorithms rule and views we crave. From viral highs to the demonetized lows, when you sell your soul in this digital realm,
Props to you, my friend. Good job.
anything goes.
Hello, my name is Zerzu Zyquin, and welcome to my channel. How's everybody doing today? Let me drop this off the thing here and pull myself up. So I haven't went over to Sarah's channel since the whole Andrew Wilson split up thing. I really like the new wallpaper and couch, if you know what I mean. It seems like the place is relatively mellow. And there's not so much yelling over the top of everybody. Now, I went up for a grab bag topic, so there's multiple different types of topics. It doesn't get bogged down with, 4 or 5 hours of basically beating the same dead horse. And I kind of like this format because it allows me to go into, as I said, one of the reasons why I first started going over to Sarah's channel is to, the Raging Tomato, is to basically get different topics to talk about, things that I wouldn't normally talk about. And I went up there. I guess we had there. The part of the subject was, they had some religious subjects in there and whatnot. So I would like to start off talking about something that Tom just pointed out to me today. There was a lady who went to, I guess, like 26 different churches to see if she could get baby formula for her church. And out of those 26 churches, only 3 of them gave her baby formula. Now, my argument here would be, you would probably be better off going to a bar and asking the bar patrons for some formula than going to a church, because the church most certainly is not Christian and would most certainly be frowned upon in the eyes of God. Hello, Sirloin. Hello, Dr. Nimrod. And that's one of the questions that come up today, is whether Jesus would be happy with what Christians have become today. Of course, there's a lot of other subjects. We end up going into, or they end up going into whether or not the Queen, the royal family, or lizard people or not. I kind of wanted to go on the Charlie Kirk. It was Charlie Kirk's death a result of Israel? Did Israel have a hand in Charlie Kirk's death? Because there's a lot of information that's being thrown out there, such as Israeli cell phones on the campus. Well, it's a college campus. I mean, yeah, there's probably an Israeli cell phone or 15 or 30. But apparently they wanted to go on rehash the old stupid lizards, and I kind of complained about it a little bit, but I wasn't trying to change the subject. I was trying to point out we could be going into all kinds of new conspiracy theories and battling it out either way, but instead, let's just stick on the same stupid garbage that we've been spewing out all of our lives. Anyway, this is going to be a very long show, so I don't know if I'll be pausing it a bunch. I did record it, so it had commercial breaks, so I had to cut out the commercial breaks every so often. You'll notice that there's a jump in what's being said. That's the commercial breaks. I plan on payday. I do most certainly plan on payday getting a membership to our channels, pretty much so I can get a little bit of early access to the panels, you know what I mean? The members get pulled up first and whatnot. But anyway, let's dig into this. Grab bag topics on Raging Tomato.
Go into a topic shift. We'll go back to politics. We're going to swing around the topics. I just don't want to stay in one arena for too long. The Civil War on the conservative side. I know there's some inner fighting on the right. I know there's some people, like there's the woke right, there's the
Marjorie Taylor Greene apparently supporting Nancy Pelosi's arguments. Oh my God, I can't believe there's like 6 times now I agree with Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Moderate right, there's the MAGA right, there's the conservatives, there's the Groypers. There's a whole lot of infighting going on, and I think infighting is part of par for the course. But does anybody have anything specific that they think, Ryan? I'm sure you're going to dive right on in, but yeah, why don't you lead us off, Ryan? Go ahead.
Yeah, I think the phrase is the chickens are coming home to roost. The Republicans for years have been leaning on and taking advantage of an extremely radical base to the point where, I mean,
is my mic okay above the
pipeline and everything?
Video?
There was a lot of people being steered towards increasingly radical, and not in the cool way, right? Increasingly radical beliefs and more racist, misogynistic, all these different things. And it is epitomized in Donald Trump getting into the White House, which was the long-standing goal of the Heritage Foundation, to have a figure like Trump get into office so they could carry out their Project 2025 goals that they have made about 50% of progress through now. And now what's happening at the moment is, because of this increasingly radicalized base, and because we have young Republicans who are praising Hitler or Himmler, whatever, Bittler, whatever, who are praising him and talking about gassing people and stuff in their group chats. And we have Tucker Carlson, Nick Fuentes, both extremely radical people in their own right. And they're all communicating right now. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to figure out, what do we do when this senile old fuck kicks the can? Because he's not going to last forever. And the Republican Party has put all of their chips on Donald Trump. And I mean, what do you do when those are gone? They're trying to figure that out right now. And that's what they're fighting about.
This young Republican stuff, the Charlie Kirk type, right? That's the natural replacement.
I think it's
Isn't
I
this
think it's
like
warranted.
Candace
Oh, go ahead.
Owens versus Nick Fuentes and
Yes.
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 I'm not sure if they're on the same side, but I've been hearing a lot about a couple, some kind of infighting going on. Or like Laura Loomer is like, pissed off at certain, conservatives. And so, there's definitely something.
Because a lot of
going
corners have
on.
allowed the Charlie Kirk
I'm
thing
not
to
too
open
privy
the
on
gates
it,
for
but-
people who are usually considered undesirable.
I'm trying to
Who
figure
else
out
did
who
we lose? Who
Zuni
dropped
is.
off? Like, I know somebody else was there. Who was there?
It's,
Sasquatch already left. Chuck already left. Who else was sitting there?
we were at 9 for a while.
Vanta. Okay. Whew. Like, my brain really fries when I'm like, somebody
Yeah,
left.
you were swapping
What?
many people in and out.
I have the
so-
I have
Yeah.
the phone sitting next to me, so I can always check back.
Oh, thank you. And Marathon
Thank you,
Kev
Kev.
given an
All right,
extra
hope you get a
interest
home
for
for that
Ryan.
kitty.
That's a full $20 in your pocket. You leave it right there for later.
What do you mean by way of mega? What do you mean by that? Is he mega?
Back
Yeah.
Ryan, no, you couldn't get further away from
Yeah.
that.
Kev,
Oh, you said no, he
Kev.
was or he is.
He is MAGA. So what he's just saying that like MAGA, even
he's a
there are some
liberal
people-
MAGA. He's a
Yeah,
liberal
there are some
MAGA.
people. There are some people in MAGA who like me anyway because they find me.
That's the
entertaining.
infighting coming out.
Hey, can
Fights
I
over
ask?
whether radical coder is cool or not?
In a moment,
Nah,
I'll
or
be
maybe
joining.
he's just
And then I
allowing
have some audio
Ryan to say
problems.
what he wants out there in the
Unfortunately, when I
ethos,
first
because
joined
Ryan's
in, I
the
had
kind of
so many
person to
problems.
just
My
basically
camera
lay
was
the
messed
plans
up.
on the table and say, "Hey guys, come on in and take a look at our plans." I love it.
Clay really thinks that Ryan has any secret plans of the Democratic Party.
Thank you, Ryan.
Can I ask you?
Ty-
Describing
Oh, my
Ty-
bad.
plans, but okay.
Ty, are you trying to chime in there?
Yeah, I was. Can what's the difference between democratic socialism and
This
Communism,
guy
though.
is a moron.
socialism and communism.
Democratic socialism.
Democratic socialism is democratic.
yeah, democratic socialism and communism though?
And communism
there
is
like
the
a-
prohibition of all private property.
But is that
Is
is there like a okay?
all the means of production.
Damn, yeah, everybody just jumped. I wasn't even done with the questions.
Go ahead, Ty. Ask your full question. Everybody else, shut the fuck up.
Jesus Christ, that was. I understand. Yes, it's a touchy subject. I understand, but democratic socialism involves socialism as far as
So
communism
saying
goes.
this guy is nuts.
I'm a GED
Well, that-
student. I don't know anything about anything. I am the dumb. I'm a
Well, that's-
pure 100% American. I'm dumb as hell. Communism, socialism. I feel like they kind of bleed into each other, and there's a
that's
thin
just
line.
The government paying for certain things. That's kind of
I'm
what
still not
socialism
sure
is.
who Zumi is.
Socialism still has capitalistic attributes to it. It still has.
So what is democratic
kind of a
socialism?
combination, and then you add democratic, and that just means things that are voted on. That's really all that means. Things.
Mamdami.
You know,
It's
that kind of
social
thing.
ideals through the
Communism,
democratic system. These
You're
words all have
right.
different meanings. Number one,
UPS
if it doesn't involve the prohibition of private property, it is not
Okay,
communism.
there's like 3 people talking right now.
Yeah, why
Yeah, so why don't you not jump in there and make it even worse?
are
I just
we
I need a definite one mic,
Hold
one
on,
mic.
Hold on,
You're
hold
not
on.
really saying anything
Mom,
of
you're
substance
finally
anyway.
here. About fucking time. Everybody in the chat, say hi to my mama. Lifted.
Hi,
why
Mother.
Don't you go ahead? Why
Hello,
don't you go
Mater.
ahead and give us your
I
thought
made a
there?
Yeah, see, my mic was messed up. My camera ends up freaking out. I end up getting a little bit behind time on the live stream.
Lifted.
All right, fine,
Are you
Dr.
with us?
Nimrod. Don't explain to me
No,
who
he's
Zoomy
muted.
is.
Yeah. It's just slow. No, it's just slow. Yeah, so I was going to say communism. I think, I don't know if it was Effigy that probably had a better definition. I'm just going off the top of my head. Just that socialism has aspects of capitalism to it. You know, there's still a free market, but then certain things the government takes care of. Like we even have little bits of socialism already now with, the fire
Medicare,
department,
Social Security,
yeah, right, Medicare,
Post
SNAP,
office,
all kinds of different
SNAP.
things that taxes pay for. But
taking
in
ownership of
communism, I don't
companies.
think there's a tax structure. Am I right, Effigy?
I don't believe so. No.
Is it
Because
kind
the
of
government
though?
makes everything like as
I
they
think-
want and need.
I
Everything goes
think
through them.
I think it's a lot of hybrids. Like you can go
Yeah.
to China, but there's aspects of capitalism in China, and that's not me saying it. That's them saying it.
Yeah, that's the best
And
point is
so,
that no one actually is
it's
a
just
pure
hybrid.
system anymore.
Yeah.
Isn't
It's a hybrid.
China? I thought China was communism, though, right?
China is run by a
Communist
party
China,
called
yeah.
the
Yeah, for
Communist
sure.
Party of China,
capitalist
but they're
hybrid
not.
at this point.
So
they're like a state
communism.
capitalism thing.
So China is communism,
With
capitalism.
a practice of capitalism in the economic structure to an extent.
Oh, okay.
also, I
So
would
they
say.
have.
In name only.
100% free
Okay.
markets. Let's go 50. So it's just nuances. Just like in
Socially, they're
America,
still
we have
completely communist.
nuances. And then just
Yeah,
like
but
here,
I-
they have nuances. So
Mhm.
I
But
just
what
wanna
was-
step
what were the-
away,
sorry.
lady and gentlemen? I'm just gonna go make some more coffee. Just gonna go make some. But
we're boring you.
Clay, no, I have to pee so bad. Clay, if you can just help make sure we're going one at a time. Thank you. Everybody be respectful to Clay. He is in my stead. Thank you.
Yeah, I chime in for 1 second. So I think the important thing to note about people call themselves democratic socialists. We look at a Bernie Sanders type, or now Zoran Mamdani who's in the
Shout
spotlight.
out Bernie.
Yeah, exactly. Hell yeah, right? Like
Yeah.
he's a guy well liked by people on the right and left for various reasons. But he
Until
is
you- yeah.
self-identified. He's a self-identified democratic socialist, right? And but we don't perceive him as someone who's going to abolish private property, someone who's going to seize the means of production. Like obstacles might, but like like people who are rational and listening to him, they don't feel that way. They feel like he's someone who wants to socialize certain programs like health.
Yeah.
And make
Yeah.
make sure that those things
I
are
know.
provided to everybody.
I know you don't have to destiny out. You don't have to.
Wow, these guys are so obsessed with Destiny. Nobody's mentioned Destiny. I don't even understand what you're trying to say by Destiny out. He was explaining clearly to you. That's all he was doing. One thing I've noticed is you keep talking over people. Just blurt in there some random 2 words, 3 words here and there. You really kind of have a hard time forming a full thought.
The destiny out and start spewing a bunch of shit. You don't got to destiny out on me. I'm telling you.
Not too many words.
Yes.
Out is what he said.
You don't have to destiny out on me and start throwing a bunch of shit. I agree.
This guy ends up after, I'm not sure if he gets booted off the panel or if he leaves for a moment, but when he's backstage trying to get back up, he was crying and whining about you don't want my free speech, you don't want my heat, all kinds of nonsense.
Agree with you, but
I didn't mean to.
there's
leave
a
for second.
thin line. There's a whoa, pause. Hey yo, there's a thin line between democratic socialism, quote unquote, and communism, quote unquote, and capitalism, quote unquote, and conservatism, quote unquote. There's a thin line of all these things that people wish to think that they're
just babbling
it's
nonsense.
the right thing to do, but there's a
The idea is to not look at the thin line and try to find something that is only communist. That's what we're talking about here.
thin line between.
All of us up here are
It's actually a
agreeing
really
with you,
thick
saying
line. It's a thick line
they
called
bleed.
It's not
or
that
they-
thick. It's not that
They
thick.
bleed into each other. They all share aspects. None of them are pure. I
Exactly.
think we all agree with that.
Well, that was
Thank
one of the
you.
things I was going
Thank you, sir.
I
There was
think
somebody.
that was
hold on.
intended by our.
Thank you, sir. Top
Hold on,
left.
hold on, guys.
Thank you,
I
sir.
I
think
want-
that
I
was
wanna-
intended by our founding fathers, and the reason why I say that is that they made us a democratic republic, a federal democratic republic, which means that they wanted to prevent from having a one-bodied system such as socialism, such as a republic, or such as a federalist, or they wanted to be able to mend those together as a kind of a safeguard from becoming a one-body system.
True. No, you're right. But I mean, like the KKK was democratic.
Even
So
taking
what
it
are we
out a
talking
little
about?
bit, even taking it out a little bit further, there was somebody who said that they all bleed together. So when you say they all,
Yeah,
bleed,
my dog at the
about, like,
at the top
all,
left.
well, hold on. All the systems, all the different governments, even like other nations. Was it you obstacles who mentioned that? Like when you go to China, that they even have forms of capitalism. And does that hold true when you move out? Does that actually hold true for all the nations? That are there nations that don't actually have multifaceted systems, or is it just something that where
What?
basically is it socialism and communism in certain countries, and that's all that it is?
Socialism and communism are the same thing.
I guarantee there's a system somewhere now. I can't say that I know every nation in the world because there are so many of them out there. I would have to guarantee that there's one of the nations that maybe aren't within the UN that most people think about that have a singular system that is like absolutely socialist or absolutely communist. Now the Chinese are as close as you can get to that without saying North Korean. You know what I mean?
Dude, China. Yep. China, man.
So if
Cuba's
communism and
very,
socialism are the same thing,
absolutely.
Yeah.
the body, the workers owning the means of production.
I
Yeah.
would say, yeah, probably the best example was North Korea. That's a good one. I wouldn't say China so much because it's hybrid.
No, China
But yeah,
for
North
sure.
Korea, man.
Yeah. China has some mix in there that messes it up, but they're as close to North Korea
Yeah,
as you
North
can get.
Korea
for
is
communist.
fascist and
Don't
authoritarian.
forget Cuba.
Yeah, but
Cuba
I was
is
just
the
saying, like,
the
pretty
Cuba.
blanket across the
You
board. There's no-
right as hell. Cuba's the. My bad.
No, go ahead.
So Zerzuzi, you
No, I was
mentioned
about to
that
say. I was about to
there
say
would
Cuba. My bad. My bad.
be countries maybe like that aren't, or was it obstacles maybe that said maybe countries that aren't in the UN. So like I can consider like tribes in the Amazon or the Congo that essentially when you look at it, they consider themselves a nation of themselves, and are they qualified as a socialist or communist nation in that sense? If they're only just working for themselves within their tribe, and there's
I wasn't talking about tribes. What I was talking about is nations that aren't in the UN. The nations that aren't in the UN aren't only tribes. There are full cities, nations that are not in the UN. That's what I was referring to.
nobody else that they can cross into their territory, their border.
But
Well, wouldn't that?
I'm not sure about
more,
the tribe question. And then it goes, now he asked me directly a question. Why is anybody else talking? At all. Why is anybody else talking? Now he's going to mention a delay, which I do notice I have. But if everybody else would just simply shut up and let me answer the question that he asked directly to me, this problem that is about to come up wouldn't have happened.
My bad. You good? I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm good. That gives me a chance to speak, right? Regardless of delay. Oh, I wasn't sure about
I
the
was going to
tribes
say, think
question,
of communism kind of like the apocalypse.
Hold on, think, dude. And,
Wait, hold on.
What is his
Let
name?
him say what.
Anybody
Let him say what he was saying.
It has a delay, guys. I think.
Yeah, let him say what he was gonna say.
Lifted and Zerzuzi, both of you. Well, Lifted, yours is definitely a delay. Zerzuzi, I feel like yours is maybe like a 1 second delay, maybe less. But every time I see your mouth,
well, give me a 1-2 and we'll see how far it is.
Yeah, okay, it's getting.
Give me a 1-2 and we'll see how far it is.
Yeah, you definitely have a delay.
Yeah, you definitely do. Do you even know what I'm saying? I'm saying count and found out how big the delay is. If it's only a second, let me finish what I'm saying, and then I'll leave so I'm not disturbing the panel.
As well as listening.
Yeah, that's a hell of a delay.
We gonna have to wait for you guys.
Um,
Maybe.
And here's where I figured I'll just leave rather than disrupt the panel. Just mute down for a little bit and pop off.
But
Be right back.
Well,
let's ask Ryan then.
I was gonna.
Well, if you were going to say something, maybe you should have shut up while I was talking, waited till I finished, and then said what you needed to say. How you like that?
because well, you know, Sarah's not here, so we're gonna have to, I guess, let her know that Zerzuzi had to drop out and maybe come back.
So I go ahead and skip forward here to where I join back in.
Going to play that semantics game, Brick. Finger the inner cheek and boop noise, or it's timeout fully. And hold on a second. Ty, you talk shit to me in my private chat and disrespect my rules back there. I'm going to fucking keep kicking you out of my studio. Don't come back. You've already pissed me off. Now fuck off. All right.
Right? I
didn't even know what was happening.
I just want to make sure that I understand what that is. Dusty, can you show me what exactly he's talking about?
Who?
Kev's asking me to
I
do
still have
finger.
No, I can't show you how to do that. You got to
Driving me nuts.
Trippy, I know you have a way to show me. Like,
I don't.
You got a
actually.
pop animation.
Oh, okay. Like, so you go like this, and then you put your finger in your mouth,
Yeah.
and then
Here,
Oh.
put your
you,
finger
like,
in your mouth.
Like this?
pull your
How's that
cheek in.
go? How's that go, Trippy?
Is that what it is? When you get somebody in the teeth.
And then you get skinnier.
And then you get skinnier.
Anybody else?
And then
know?
you get skinnier.
Yeah, that was so
Come on,
wrong.
Clay. You
There's
can't
not
do
enough
it.
bullying. We need more bulimia jokes.
In your ground, Clay.
All right, let's get Zers up here. No,
Oh, man,
no
you made me
poppy
laugh.
cheek. No poppy cheek for you. And
Sorry.
shout out again, Mater Nation, hashtag Mater Nation in
And
the
of
chat.
course,
for
my
the next 2
audio is
minutes.
still
Do
messed
it
up.
now. Do as I say, or fuck off.
Sarah
All right.
ends
I've
up
been
getting me.
hashtagging Bader
So,
Nation, and it brings something else up entirely.
All right, are we concluded on the last topic? I feel like that was a good round.
Yep.
On is lying sometimes natural? Do we want to switch back in, or I'm sorry, the corn one? Do we feel good on the corn one?
Oh yeah, we didn't really hash it through. Maybe there wasn't a lot to talk
Well,
about. We
let's-
jumped fast from it, I guess.
Well, let's go ahead and somebody has feedback coming in.
It's like moaning.
It's feedback
that
from their
me
mic. I can
again?
hear. No, I don't think it's you
Moaning.
because it just stopped and you're not muted. Okay. So let's just do a quick roundabout with everyone's final thoughts on should corn be illegal or more restricted. I don't think we dive too much into it, but I think you're either one way or the other. Obstacles, go ahead and kick us off.
Yeah, let people do what they do with that laptop. Let people do what they do with that smartphone. And then I think that's just a way to go about it, man. People are gonna do what they're gonna do, all the way down to the mechanic machine. And hey, if you guys end up, shutting it off, I'm gonna open up a mechanic machine stop. So at the end of the day, it's just gonna happen. So it is what it is.
Okay.
It's sensory is a slippery slope. So I would be inclined not to even go down there as long as it's adults.
I could see more restriction as
Hold
long
on.
as it's
Hold on.
age
We're gonna move
verification.
around. We're moving around the
Oh,
room.
sorry.
Joe, are you done?
Yeah, I was done.
All right.
I
Effigy,
wanted censorship.
Effigy, your final thoughts on that topic.
Wasn't it the court case, I think, with Larry Flint, where the Supreme Court ruled that it was basically their First Amendment right? I think, though, the worst aspect about people trying to ban porn is that it almost inevitably leads to a slippery slope where they just keep expanding the definition of porn, and the next thing you know, like, no one can even show a side boob in a movie.
Exactly.
Like, it gets crazy.
Okay.
Good point.
Dusty, to you.
I wish there was a way to get to restrict it from kids better than there is, but there isn't, and I can't think of a better way to do that without causing more issues. So at this point, I would say no. Even though I do think it's too accessible to kids, I just don't think there's a solution to it.
Okay. Trippy, to you.
Yeah, I agree with Dusty. Like, full on, we need to restrict it. Well, we should be able to restrict it, for youngins. Like, okay, look, when I was a kid, my stepdad had a huge collection of books. All right, so I saw it pretty young. It didn't fuck me up as bad as I thought it would. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but we're not watching it constantly.
Hold on. It's just his final thought on it. We're not re-engaging.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Trippy.
But yeah, like they should be able to, at least online, just have a slightly higher amount of age verification. Really, I feel the same way about video games, honestly.
Okay.
Like, maybe not take people's IDs, but figure something out. There's some fucking way to do it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Ant, to you.
I agree. It would be good if we could keep the content away from children, but the methods that we have available are worse than the problem we're trying to solve. I don't want my personally identifiable information being stored on some porn site's database, for example. Not that it necessarily uses stuff, but just as an example, just playing to the case. So yeah, I think we might solve that one problem doing that, but we create a whole other problem where suddenly you have more of this information that could become leaked out, more than already gets leaked out as is.
Okay. Zers, to you.
As everybody else mentioned, I do believe that we should limit the children. I think I may still be on in a little delay. If I am, I'll kick off right after I'm done with this final statement. But I believe we should limit it for children. But when it comes down to limiting it for adults, it's impossible necessarily to limit it or to not limit, to make it illegal entirely. I keep saying the word limit. And the reason why that is, no matter what we do, people will draw the images. And now we have technology camera, and anybody can make their own and create their own and share it through communities, which then ends up spreading out to larger communities. So, and I don't care if somebody's out there wanking off to, some vids or something. That's I not could probably my use a little concern therapy. at all.
Super shot.
Yeah, his mic makes me feel
Oh
high.
boy, probably. I'll switch that up real quick.
Yeah, try to give that a
Very
spin.
loud or what?
It sounds like you're talking in a tin can, so which means it's probably on the wrong mic. Your
Okay.
input settings is on the wrong mic.
Yep.
I'll give you a minute to change it and test it, maybe.
Is this better?
Oh yeah.
Holy shit, now you're coming through.
Now turn your volume down a lot.
Okay.
Wow. Like, good job.
Give me a test 1, 2, 3.
Oh, I'm trying to pull it down a little bit. How's that?
Much
Good.
better. Right there. Don't touch anything. Way better. All right. Ant, did you go already, Ant?
I already went.
Okay, that's what I thought. I switched around. Okay, and then Neve, to you.
I would support restricting it more, but I wouldn't support a ban. And I think the reason I wouldn't support a ban has nothing to do with the First Amendment. I just think that you have to ask yourself why a ban would be necessary. And I think even from a
I
secular
like Nave. I'm not sure why she
position, you
doesn't
can
like
look at
me.
porn as like somewhat of a societal evil. I mean, it destroys I would say family dynamics, and it preys on vulnerable populations. And I think if you wanted to go about banning that, all you would be doing would be removing the supply, but you wouldn't be solving the root issue, which is the demand for that content. And so I think that an outright ban of porn would just lead to worse outcomes. If like anything that's prohibited, when you can't provide it in a somewhat mainstream way, networks obviously develop underground ways to obtain those things, and those things are inherently less safe and more problematic for society. So that's my take here.
You should have said that during the open session, Neve. That the whole conversation would have revolved around that shit right there.
Angry Man, are you taking a shit or are you with us?
I'm still here.
Oh, okay.
He's there.
Your thoughts in closing on the corn issue?
Restriction.
There's really nothing you can do about it at this point because of the way society is now, because of technology. Before, you could put it behind a paywall or try to restrict it to certain places, but now it's pretty wide open. So I don't think you can put the rabbit back in the hat.
Yeah.
You have a carrot, it will.
He does kind of look like Sean Stockman. He does kind of look like him.
I love
was a
how
way
you
to put
popped
it.
on screen like that. That was hilarious.
He's like, what?
But in his defense, there's a lot of guys that look like Sean Stockman. I've noticed that.
Kind of
Maybe-
getting,
maybe
what was
he
the
made a
show?
lot of
A Different World. Remember that show?
Uh,
The guy with the
Dwayne Wayne.
glasses, and he'd like pop them up.
Dwayne Wayne.
Hey,
Yeah.
conspiracy
Should give him some
music.
glasses
Good
like
to
that.
see you.
He probably, he might have some.
That's
No, but if you find them, let me know, man. I've been
No
trying to look for them.
That'd make a
All
great
right.
Halloween costume.
Okay. Is a oh wait, no. That was I want to hold that one for when Chuck comes back. Are emotions more powerful than logic in decision making?
Yes, because logic needs to account for emotions in almost every circumstance. I think if you're making in a broader context, if you're making like macro decisions, logic is, yeah, they're intertwined, they're inseparable, unless it's like money and finance. But yeah, that's my
Well,
take.
logic requires an investment in understanding things well enough to make a logical decision, whereas an emotional response is immediate and requires no investment.
So does that mean it's more powerful or not? That was the question.
Oh,
No.
yes, I agree that people are going to decide things based off emotion much sooner, much easier than they are off of logic.
But the decisions made will be worse.
Correct. I agree. I think you should make decisions based off logic, but most people are prone to making decisions based off emotion because it's easier and doesn't require the same investment.
I think the
So we
question
could
was-
calculate emotions into the logical process, but then ensure that we're utilizing our logical reasoning to make
You
the
couldn't
decision
insure it.
itself.
If you're the emotional one, you can't insure it because you logically you know you're fallible now because emotions make all of your decisions worse. If you can calculate someone else's emotions into it with your logic, if I'm trying to figure out shit about other people, calculate their emotions into it, use my logic, then it's sound. But I can't be emotional saying I'm gonna calculate my emotions and be logical about it.
I was kind of going to go on that with, that it depends on who you're referring to. If you're referring to, like a group of people who are familiar with logical conversation, logic tends to sway them easier. However, like most people in the chat who don't necessarily engage, I'm not attacking the chat guys, but who don't necessarily engage in debates or in discussions, they're not, not to say that they don't have logic. It's that they can, and other people can be swayed more easily with emotional. I'm surprised I didn't get after that. Even
No
such
way to
as
clean that up. The chat is gullible. Chat, you heard them. There's no way to clean that one.
Hey,
I love the chat.
You know
Love
what? My
everybody
chat
here.
always fucking wins, no matter what, and they will roast the shit out of every single one of you, and I love.
And see, look at
them
her
for
appealing
that.
to their emotions.
Speaking of,
Right?
Marathon
Full of
Kev
logic and-
even has spoken here and says, "Ant for Clay." No malice, Ant, but yeah, Ant got booted because the chat always wins. They use their logic and reasoning to decide. Angry Man popped off. I don't know where he went. All right, here we go.
What was the overall question again, Sarah? I just want to make sure I had
The
it on my
question
head.
is, are emotions more powerful than logic in decision making?
Yeah, if it's, I would say if the decision is made by a human, yes. If it's made by something else like a calculator, then no. And so net humans just use their emotions a good amount. Now, the percentage of it depends on the skill set of the human being able to balance out that, emotion with the logic. And so that's what I think. I mean, stock market is a good example of that. If you actually talk to a lot of people who invest in it, they just say, you know, a lot of things can happen in the headlines, and then people go and sell off their assets because of the emotion aspect. That's why I usually have a calculator, which it was like a fear versus greed. And once the fear is high, then everybody's selling everything for cheap, and you just go and buy it all up. So I would just say, yeah, it just is a heavy weight on people in any decision that they make, period. So it's not a flaw. Go ahead.
I have to laugh at this because Marathon Kev says 5 to say Angry Man went to go listen to Boys to Men, and then here comes Angry Man. Thanks, Sarah. Gotta run. Thanks for having me. Salute to the whole band, and salute to you, Angry Man. Love having you. Thanks for stopping by. We appreciate you always.
Enjoy Boys to Men.
But it's so hard to say goodbye. Yesterday. I know Clay knows all their songs. He's got like a collection of Boys to Men.
Sing it for us, Clay, while you do the boop noise.
I don't know it.
Well, you too young? You're too young to remember the Boys to Men?
I actually am too young.
This Clay is cool. This Clay is a much better
You
Clay.
don't stand a chance with Keith Sweat and shit like that, right?
I'll
you
bring
do
him
know
on and
Keith
confuse the
Sweat.
shit out of him. I'll be like, do you know who Gene Simmons is? I'll just start fucking with you about old bands.
Yeah, like Boys to Men is like my older brothers.
I'll make love to you like you want me to, and I'll hold you tight.
Promises.
Yeah, my
Rating.
Isn't that for like the other channel? No, I'm just joking.
I was just one step after.
For that adult porn
Sarah,
channel.
could you do me
Me
a
and
big,
Brick grew up
giant
in
favor?
the golden
What's up?
era of music, the new metal late 90s.
Yes.
Right?
What's up,
You know more about
Porn.
Yes.
And
Could you do me a 5 count real quick, and I'll go on from 6 to see if I got a little bit of delay.
Sure.
Now, why I'm doing this, if I do have a delay, I'll just go ahead and hop off the panel. It's better than messing up the entire show with somebody who has a delay. I'm trying to make sure that I'm not messing up the show. So if I end up talking over people, or if people end up talking over me, I know I'm not really, because I don't try to talk over people. If I'm talking over somebody, it's probably something they did.
Sure. All right. We're going to go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
Oh, we started before we stopped. Sorry.
All right. Ready? That's okay. Pay attention to what I'm doing. You're going to finish where I leave off.
Right.
10, 9, 8, 7.
6, 5, 4.
You're good.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you're fine. I think you're fine. All
I've
right.
been having one hell of a night with the audio and the
It's-
cameras, and
It's okay.
Heck,
I think
hell is what it
everybody has,
was.
How did you
quite
piss off
frankly.
God?
What's that?
How did you piss off God?
Oh, I'm sure I did something probably today.
Uh-huh.
Probably when I looked at the old lady that told that some guy was moving out of a wheelchair for her, and she was like really old with a walker, and he's like being nice and telling her, "Hey, here's your seat," and she gave him the dirtiest look as she slides her little walker over there, and he's like, "Ma'am, I'm trying to give you a seat," and I noticed that she was putting down the seat in her walker, but he didn't necessarily know that, so I told him, "Oh, she's putting down the seat in the walker," and he goes, "Okay," and he sat back down, and I looked right at her and I said, "You know, it would be nice if she would be considerate, especially if you're being considerate to her and moving from the seat." So that's probably what I did to God. To make him
You should have
mad
said it
today.
meaner.
Well,
Should've been
Marathon
like-
Kev has it for us here. I'm going to turn off all the music. Here we go. Clay, you need to sing "It's So Hard to Say Goodbye"
Oh,
and
good.
pop that inner cheek, or "To the
Pop
Abyss to
that
Go." And
pussy.
usually I would not accept only 5, but Marathon Kev also sent 5 earlier, and he's been really laying them on thick here. So to you, Clay.
I will do the song part, but he did say, like with his next chat, he's just joking. So I don't know if that qualifies because he didn't super chat it. But
Do the cheek thing.
Technicalities.
but I will do half of it.
I was
You
gonna
gotta
say
do them in order.
He only sent 5, so maybe if you only do half of it, then you get to stay.
Okay, here we go.
Oh God,
It's
this is
so
gonna.
hard to say goodbye.
Go, Prick, go.
You got this.
Everybody shut up. Silence in the court. Clay,
We're cheering
continue.
for you. We're cheering for you. That's what it is.
It's so hard to say goodbye. I don't know the rest of the words. So
I do have so much fun
Just
on these
into it with
panels.
Gotta do a high note at the end of
That's
yesterday.
fair. That's fair. I think that's because he did say it's so hard to say.
And this
goodbye.
is only a
Thank
small
you.
section of it. The whole
accent.
video is
I had
like
never
7
heard that
hours
before. I
long.
think
If
you
you want,
went
it's over on
into it,
Raging
so-
Tomatoes.
I think
Of
it's
course,
fair.
got the paper
I think
reader
it's fair.
just to see
We
this
will let
specific
Marathon
interview.
Kev
Say
be the
goodbye.
judge in the chat. If Kev, if was that sufficient for you? All right.
No more.
Do we all
He
feel
didn't do the pop.
satisfied? Do we all feel satisfied on our emotions more powerful than logic in decision making? Any other added?
You got to balance. You got to balance the two. You got to
Okay.
use emotion and logic, in my opinion. Because if you don't, then you become cold-hearted.
I like it, Chuck.
Well,
There's
I
a
agree
time
with that.
for
You
it,
can
right?
form logical argument and throw a little emotion into it and help sway a logical person.
As
I
a,
think
Yes,
it's worth
sir.
noting that all humans use a lot more emotion, and they're all of us, even the most logical ones,
Oh
use
yeah,
more emotion in our
absolutely.
decision-making process.
Yeah,
than
we most
logic.
certainly.
But we like to tell ourselves the other way around.
Well, it makes sense though, because for most of our evolution, we couldn't access
Yes.
the ideas of logic. So everything is based in emotional response, and getting out of that is part of being human.
Right. Logic
It's the
catches up after
bigger
the fact.
part.
It's a earlier development in brain evolution. If you buy into evolution,
if you buy it.
emotion's closer to your brainstem.
Okay.
I believe it was both created together, obviously.
Mhm.
So yeah, I would.
Okay.
But
Well, I mean, that's
we're
but
gonna
the
do the
structure, like
pop with the song.
the emotion center is still it's closer to your brainstem, your vital systems. It's easier to access, so that's why emotions come faster, and then you catch up to it. Right? Your girl wakes up mad at you because of a dream she had, and then she calms down when she realizes it was a dream.
And I think we're saying that emotions are inherently negative, with a negative connotation. That may not be
No,
necessarily true.
no.
All right.
I disagree.
What about getting married? I mean, logically, getting married is kind of one of the dumbest things you can do if you really trickle it
What?
down into thought processes.
He's not wrong.
But emotionally, you want to be with that person. You want to, make
I mean,
babies with them, and you love
you can
them.
look at studies of well-being. I think there's a good logical case for it.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Flo.
I don't remember what. Yeah, no, I guess.
I was saying logically, marriage doesn't make
Talking
sense.
about
You were
marriage.
talking about
Oh yeah,
studies.
no. You can make a great. Yeah, you can make a good logical case for it if you look at studies of well-being across the board and consistently. People who are married report higher levels of all sorts of well-being than single people, especially for men. Men benefit more from it than women, which is counter.
Really?
The narrative. Yep. Because
Yeah,
women
I
are
do
more
know-
social than men. Women
No,
are
go
more
ahead,
social
Dustin.
than men. Men go to work and they have their family generally, right? So if you lose the family, then all you got is work, and those are just professional connections.
Anybody else?
I think people who run for office or positions of power, regardless of how they personally feel about marriage, they're almost like pigeonholed into getting married. And I think for a lot of the times, like those are logical decisions based on other people's emotional responses and biases
Yeah, I understand.
to people who are in we just tend to trust people who are married to lead us in a direction because I think it embodies
They're
a
more
value
wholesome,
system, or yeah, it implies
values.
something that is actually quite important. So
Well,
We're
I don't know.
also
I think
when
you can make a
got
logical
married,
decision about it and not value it at all.
when I got married, and I took those pledges, vows, whatever you want to call them, I didn't take them half-assed. I took them to heart. And if you're not doing it for that reason, then you shouldn't even be doing it. That's the biggest problem with people nowadays.
You still
people
married,
gonna do
Chuck?
them.
I don't know
Four
what
and a half
business
years.
anyone else's marriage is of yours.
I didn't say it was my business, sir.
You just made it your business. You just
I
prescribed
find-
when people should not get married.
Well, I did. Because if you just take that step half-ass, well, then there's no sense in doing it. You know, you mean what you
using
say.
bidets. I like using a bidet, not toilet paper. You should only use a bidet.
I didn't say people should get married. I'm saying they shouldn't do it unless they believe in the words they're using.
But my response to you would be, you should mind your own business. There's lots of people who get married for all games.
Really?
Why do you think that you have the golden ticket for what people should be doing or not doing?
I'm not prescribing what the golden ticket is. I'm
You
just
are.
saying.
You're saying that this is the only way that people should get married. Everything else it should not be done at all. And I'm saying, okay, what gives you the right to make that claim? You just described a claim to everybody for all marriages.
Yeah. Do you not believe in the meaning of words?
Words have meanings for sure.
And when you utter them from your mouth, you know, till death do us part, through sickness and in health, depending on which type of marriage you get.
Yeah. Lots of people get prenups, which is planning for it to not be till death, right? Everybody
Then
gets
they
married
shouldn't
knowing that, right? But I'm saying this is the world we live in. People get married with all levels of commitment for all number of reasons. It takes a bit of hubris for you to say that you to universally lay down that this is valid marriage. These are all invalid.
It's not hubris. It's taking the words to heart for their meaning and believing. And if I didn't mean it, you know, then I wouldn't do it in the first place.
Let me drop in here for a little bit. You know, I end up digging into this whole till death do us part. There is no church out there, Christian church, that really upholds the till death do us part anymore. Most of them allow for divorce. Most of them allow for remarriage, at least once.
That's me. I can't speak for the next person. But why would I take we'll call it a pledge. Why would I take a pledge if my whole intent was not to stand up for it? Because my word is my bond.
Because it's a social signal. Do people get into marriages understanding that there's divorce option if it doesn't work out?
I didn't.
But people do.
Yeah, even though mom and dad were married 14 times.
Right. So,
but I still took the words of marriage to heart. I wasn't going to take that plunge if I didn't mean it.
Right. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't do it. I'm saying what gives you the authority to assign how everyone else's marriage should be? You can have that. You can feel that way for yourself. You can have that sentiment.
Because
but you recognize that. Good.
Societal norms dictate. Not legal and lawful, societal.
Dictate what?
Just go along like it's okay to have a what do they call those? Friends with benefits, I think they call it. You're degrading the whole prospect of sex in the whole 9 yards because there's no feeling behind it.
So if you think that people should have meaning for their words and only get married if they mean it, then you probably also naturally believe that families should not pressure unmarried people to get married because of pregnancy, right? If you have a teen pregnant.
No, this is actually a strange argument, but this is a very strong argument.
That pressure should be gone because it corrupts the integrity of the words.
But you should express to them what you think about it. Now, whether they do it or not is a different story. That'll tell you who a true person is.
So a true person, if they, let's say you knock somebody up, they have to marry that person and mean it, or else they're not a true person.
Boom.
I can't hear you.
Yeah, I think you're muted or something, Chuck. Something.
Your audio went out.
Yeah, he didn't rage quit, but that was him pausing before
We'll give him a second.
he started
to
to
back.
speak, and then his
Yeah,
stuff
definite
messed up.
rage quit. No, I'm just
Rip
joking.
chat.
Yeah, it sounds like his stuff just went out. It's okay. We'll give him a second. If he doesn't come back like within the next 2 minutes, then I'll bring Ant up. All right. Did anybody
Well,
else?
Was the question?
Welcome
is it
back. We still got a
beneficial-
long
was
time.
Is it beneficial to get married, or?
Well, the initial question was, are emotions more powerful than logic in decision making? And I brought up the idea of marriage. Is it logical to get married, or is it just an emotional thing?
I would,
So
I would
Sarah
have to
dropped the
argue
name
in
in
the
the
same
room
way that
there.
I was going to argue before, that it is a logical thing to do if you think about people who are married get relief from taxes, and the people who are married get benefits that people that are not married get. And now, as far as the biblical aspect of it, going into the death till death do you part, in the same place that comes from, it speaks of the adulterer and the abuser and the layman, and it speaks of, you know, outs for not
somebody didn't
necessarily
read their
death,
Bible.
but it definitely doesn't instruct the person to stay with the adulterer. The adulterer is the sinner. And primarily, as far as like a salvation issue, it's not necessarily a salvation issue, and I can explain that. Even the Orthodox Church has decided to accept at least 3 marriages, no more than 3 marriages. They're allowed one, then they go into like some sort of thing, and then they're allowed another, and they're actually like trained. They try to train them, and then after the 3rd one, no, they'll totally from the orthodoxy. So, but they have allowed the primary objective there is they have allowed it within the religion, and many religions have allowed it. So it's not necessarily cut in stone till death do you part.
So marriage,
And I believe it's actually a good option. Sorry.
marriage is an emotional thing. It is 100%. There may be logical reasons why you do it that you apply to the reason you get married, but marriage is a belief, like that there's a union. Okay, now you might have a legal standard as to what that is, but the idea of that union, it's an idea that is based strictly on emotion.
I dig it.
Alexander says emotions give value its depth. Logic shapes the route we take to reach what we value.
When you talk about
Ideas
emotion,
are not emotion. Is that what you said, Brick?
Yeah,
What's the
well,
last thing you said?
Tell me an emotion that's not an ideal.
No. There are ideals that are not emotion based purely, right?
Okay, but all emotions are ideals.
All emotions are ideals. Anger is an ideal.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
well, you have to get angry at a subject that you
Fear is an
have
ideal.
formed an ideal around.
100%.
Fear is not an ideal.
Yeah.
It's
It
a
is.
reaction to a threat.
Yeah.
So you say.
Or
I do say.
perception of a threat. You're
Oh,
always
okay.
in
So
danger
Yeah,
when you
perception
pray.
of a
you
threat.
say,
yeah.
but I don't believe you. Here's the problem.
Okay.
I don't believe you.
I don't think you know what an ideal is.
No.
I'm pretty sure I do.
It's
I
not
don't
the
think
same
that was
thing
the
as an
words
idea.
used the first time.
Since you're so smart, tell me what an ideal is.
It's a value
Wow.
or an aspiration, right?
No, there's more to it than that.
Okay, what is it, big brains?
Yes, there's values, aspirations that can be attributed to ideals. It's a viewpoint.
Oh, it must have yodeling included. Why is Kev drunk? Is he
Thanks,
picking on
Kev.
Brick for any
think he's
solid
a-
reason?
He's flirting.
Ooh.
Man, I really have never yodeled before. But
Yodel,
Yodelay,
yodel, like
yodelay,
that.
yee-hoo.
Let's get it.
Yeah.
Brick, yodel in that valley. Let's go.
I think he's blushing.
Yes.
What the hell
You
was
have to
that?
say it with your chest. Hold on. Brick, it's got to come from a very deep place in your chest. Not deep vocally. I mean, you got to use your diaphragm deep, like yodelay, yodelay, yodelay. Yoo-hoo.
There you go. Get it, Brick.
Sit down and don't talk.
Yodeler.
Brick has a
What the
hairball.
fuck was that?
You got to do that next time you're around some cops.
Ignore her. She
Give us
doesn't
a
understand the minor of yodeling.
Science would definitely disagree with you, Brick, that you can use emotion to overcome like fear or pain. Those are reactions from the adrenal gland, adrenaline, which you, no matter how much you try to say that you are not afraid, your adrenal gland, your adrenaline would sometimes shut people down that think that they're beyond any type of fear.
Yeah.
Do I
rabbits,
understand you
rabbits
right?
get scared, but they don't have ideals.
Can a guy overcome whoever just said that? Can a guy overcome fear with anger? In that case, an emotion.
Oh fuck
can.
yeah.
Yes, and you're still accessing the same chemical is why that is. You're still burning the same fuel to
So we're just chemicals
to be
and
both fuel
reactions. We're not actually human beings. We don't have
Oh, animals are
personality.
more.
No, but those
chemicals and reactions.
chemicals are released no matter what. They depend not dependent on the person. They're released when you are
So it's part of the mind?
reacting to a
Well,
stimulant.
it's a part of the
an
mind.
Rick, do you
outside
not
stimulant.
think that we have chemicals and hormones and shit?
We definitely have chemicals
We
and
might have
congestive.
chemicals, but so with our experiences comes some type of stability, right? So because you experience certain things, you don't become what's called emotional about it the next time it happens.
Right.
Well,
I thought of that too. Emotional damage.
Another thing with
Rick,
emotions
what about the
and
goats?
science.
And if you scare the goats, then they go into like they freeze up and they fall over.
Oh, the fainting goats. Yep.
Another
Yeah,
thing with
it's the
emotions
scary-
and science, their emotions are linked specifically to your chemicals, and every 7 years, the chemical balances of each person's system, the pH balance, I guess you could describe it as, and every 7 years we go through. This is scientifically proven, 7 to 10, depending on your developmental stage, developmental speed. Every 7 to 10 years, we go through a complete chemical change in our body. That's why people that are sometimes allergic to bees no longer are allergic to bees, or
So is
people
that
who
like
were not allergic to peanuts are allergic to now
allergies or
peanuts.
emotions now?
I was
No, it all links to the pH balance.
allergic.
Trying to think of all the words at the moment. Endorphins. You're what make you like excited or happy, and shoot, I can't think of all the chemicals right now. But every emotion in you is a reaction to a chemical. How you burn that chemical, yeah, some of that is dependent on how you've lived your life and toned yourself for certain incidences. But pretty much those chemicals are what you rely on for who you are.
To
All of your
peanuts and
chemicals
penicillin.
are
Allergies
both of them.
are emotions.
No, but if you make a complete chemical change, you can
Don't-
only assume that your
Give me an
emotions would change.
Give me an
also.
emotion that is not an ideal.
You can't use ideal. I thought we disqualified you. for
Yeah,
that.
that's what we're disqualifying at this moment.
You're trying to, but
We
it's
have
already
already been done because you haven't shown me
Oh,
where
it's
an
pretty much-
ideal
okay, well,
creates
give me-
them-
you still haven't done
creates
that.
the emotion.
You have to disqualify
Okay, Rick,
my point.
Rick, do
by
rabbits
giving me-
give
me an emotion,
have
not an
ideals? Do rabbits have ideals?
They have a mind, yeah, absolutely, 100%, yes, yeah, just like the
I
dogs.
didn't ask if they had a mind. Do they have
They
an
have
ideal?
concept.
Do
Yeah,
they,
have
do
ideals.
they
have a concept
idolize
of-
anything?
Yes.
Okay, you're
Of course.
retarded. This is a dead end
Of
conversation.
course.
All right, we can sum up the conversation unless anyone had something new
Hello,
to bring to
Daisy.
the table for that topic.
Yeah, Brick's definition of ideal was off and it ruined everything.
Fair enough. All right, we'll let everyone get out their final thoughts on that topic, and we'll move on to the next one. Dusty, let's start with you.
What do I do?
Just your final thoughts on
Watching
that
the
topic.
portion of live of Raging Tomato that I was on.
I don't even remember what the original
there's like
question was.
7 hours. I clipped
All right,
probably
fair enough.
2.
The original question for anyone else:
If you want to watch the
are
rest, you got to
emotions
go
more
over there.
powerful than
pay for
logic
the
in
membership
decision
and
making?
watch
Trippy
it.
Cast to you.
Oh yeah, that's why you decide to like lie to your girlfriend about her back boobs.
Just a chemical.
Yeah, to the original prompt, that emotions are definitely more powerful as far as human decision making. We have to train ourselves for years to be able to overcome them and actually utilize logic properly. Its advantages are innumerable to getting over that hump, but we still, even the most educated person in the world, still has emotional reactions to everything before they actually think clearly about it.
Okay, Ant, to you.
I agree with everything Animated Effigy just said, but I also stated that in my opening. So, of course, I agree with him, and he already said it. So, move on.
Fair enough. Neve?
Good logic should account for emotional responses, and because you can't separate those two things, I mean, you can, but you probably shouldn't when it's like regarding human life. Yeah, I think emotions are probably more powerful.
Okay. Zers?
Why are you going to pick on me? I'm a little too emotional to continue this conversation.
I'm guessing that's your final statement.
Yeah, I didn't have the brown panel
obstacles?
behind me. So
So on a daily basis, I read a
my
book
head
called The
did
Daily
weird
Stoic.
things
It's like
all throughout
365 plus quotes from just Stoicism, and then that helps.
Normally have a
But
brown screen
net,
behind
the
me.
book is there to help humans with their emotions. So
Wait, did I just rob?
Pretty emotional.
I just did a Rob Nor. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
You're fine. Fair enough. I think that sounds like a good book to read, actually.
Look at
Joe,
Clay.
Joe, to you. Final thoughts on that topic?
I think emotion by definition means it's uncontrollable, which would mean it's more powerful than logic by definition. I think emotions by definition means something that you can't control or can't handle. So that would make it inherently more powerful. I think that's inherent in the word. When we say emotion,
You and
I think
Brick gotta
in
go
there
back to
somewhere
school.
is something you can't handle. Anger, fear, whatever it is, we believe inherent in there means you can't handle it or it's hard to handle. It stirs something you can't control, meaning it's more powerful than logic, which is more easily controllable.
Joe, I watch you hit. Oh, I'll shut up.
All right.
I watch you handle your emotions all the time.
I work hard to do so, though, right?
Do you guys need a moment
But-
in the back room together?
I shouldn't need to explain to Joe that yes, you control your emotions all the time. When somebody's like, "I love cops," you're like, "Okay, tell me why," instead of like, "Here, stab."
I don't think it takes away from how powerful they are. It was very, very difficult. I used to be blackout angry in the beginning. It took years to fucking be able to sit and say, "Oh, really? Tell me why." I used to flare every fucking time. It was very difficult.
And now look at you, right? So you're proving me right.
Tyler and Tatiana say, "Nice job, Clay." Yes, I think you should take your bow for the yodeling.
It was good yodeling.
Somebody clip
fair
that
enough.
shit.
Terrible
Ship it.
understanding of words. Great yodeler.
But nice job, Clay. We needed that. Laughing my ass off. Let's get donating, people. Stop being freeloaders. Also, Trippy, you're too damn quiet tonight.
That's because I have respect for others, and I gotta let you guys get your words out.
That's what.
Do you like my new outfit? Okay, Joe, how's the Kangol looking? Right?
Yeah, you're looking a little thuggish tonight.
Okay,
I like
I'm
it.
glad you told me that. I thought you
Did
were
you
a
draw
cop.
balls today?
No, I decided that I actually forgot everything that happened last night.
Oh, okay, fair enough. And
Short-term
then
memory issues.
last one, then we'll move on to our
They're
next
beautiful.
topic. We'll tap into some religion categories. Fun religion, though. Marathon Kev says, obstacle, quote, some boys to men in the cadence of a Hebrew Israelite,
Holy
or to the abyss forever, ever, or however long 10 minutes is. Oh, I think he's telling you to fuck off.
did he just say?
No boys to men for you.
What
It
the
was
hell?
your fault. It's your fault we got on the topic of Boyz II Men anyways, because you apparently look like the dude from Boyz II Men. So, all right, to the backstage you go. Hang back there. Joseph has been waiting patiently to come on. Thank you, Kev. I'm solid that Kev is drunk tonight. All right, next question.
I think Kevin's being very gracious, giving everyone an opportunity to get out of there.
Yes.
What the fuck is the cadence of a Hebrew Israelite? The only thing I can think of is we didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on
Flo probably made so much money off me that night because I was playing the same game with his panel, and I was like, do this or else to the back, and it was comical. Some people were willing to do something more. All right,
it was a good time. You can come be tyrannical on my chat anytime.
I will. If Jesus did exist, would he be happy with the way his followers are today?
What?
He'd be like, bro, why are you eating me every Sunday? Get the fuck out of here.
Can we clarify? Do you mean like Jesus the man or the idea of Jesus the God?
I think you could go either direction.
If
you're a Christian, you understand that there's a Trinity, right? So there's God, Jesus, and then the Holy Spirit. So if Jesus did exist in the understanding of the Christian ideology, it would be the full Spirit. It would be God. It would be the Holy Spirit, and it would be Jesus. If you're playing the atheist coin and you say, yeah, Jesus may have actually existed, but whether there's a Trinity, whether he's this holy person, whatever, you could still go underneath his teachings based on the books as a person, and you could still recognize, would he still be happy with the way his teachings are being interpreted and applied?
Because if it's the God Jesus, he's omnipotent.
Look, it's the
you would
latter
know.
of the two.
Hold on, Joe. Hold on, Joe. Hold on, Joe. Joseph was talking. Hold on. Go ahead, Joseph.
I just think it's a little incoherent, because if they were talking about Jesus the God, well, he's all knowing throughout time. He'd be aware of the pitfalls of humanity. It's a tough one.
So then is he happy?
Inherent is the question.
I think that you can make the question coherent very easily.
If Jesus was real, says that they're talking about the guy who walked on the earth. So we.
Well, most Christians that you ask would tell you that Jesus, the man that walked on the earth, was the embodiment of God, the Holy Spirit, the Trinity.
Let's own that.
Well, I would have to go with all three. We'll
I
go
just
ahead
think
with
you guys are
all
overthinking
three
the
of the
question.
Trinity, and we'll put them all together
Maybe.
in one, because they are one. And
They're
my
trying
goal
to
will be-
establish.
I will be clearly exposing the hypocrisy of Christianity through this. They always
Hold on, Clay.
Clay, you're right in the middle of I was speaking, dude. Anyway, so
Trinity.
as far
go
as I
ahead.
was saying, all three of them are one as far as the Bible describes, and I think that they value the weak, value the prostitute, the lower people. Has always been throughout the Bible, and now we seem to have a Christian church which is pushing for getting rid of homeless people, getting to they're
Immigrants
attacking.
out.
They're very attacking of the sexually promiscuous. I kind of wish I would have known about the lady that went to 25 churches or 26 churches to get formula, and she was unable to get church formula from a church. Really, baby formula to feed her baby. $35. A church couldn't cough up $35 for some baby formula. Yeah, I think God would spit on them. Which
Hold on.
Jesus very clearly had an opinion on, as he, didn't want the hooker to get stoned.
Just to clarify for you, Dusty, why I say it's incoherent, it's because the question was saying, would he be happy today looking at his children? My point is that he would know what today looks like throughout all of time.
Okay, so then you can answer,
kind of
is he happy?
interesting.
But you can answer then, is he happy, right? You can just convert the question a little bit in your mind and make it coherent, right?
All right, that's fair. Sure.
So is Jesus happy with his kids today?
No, I think
He
I
made
don't think
everything, so
would,
he's
and-
got to be, right?
That also goes on the idea that he knows everything, just ultimately, oh yeah, we know that he knows everything. If he knew everything, then why was there nothing of today's society? No cell phones, no
Right.
bombs, no tanks, no, even in the Armageddon, it speaks of horseback and dragons coming up from the water. It's completely disconnected from our timeline. If he knew everything, don't you think he would describe
I don't-
some of that stuff?
I don't
You guys have
understand.
substituted Jesus for God and are talking
Yeah,
about
I was just
God. The
thinking
fact that they said if Jesus walked, if he lived, to mean they're talking about the separate dude. They didn't mean it discussed in the God fashion. No, they would have
Trinity
said God.
isn't necessarily a separate dude. The Trinity is God, the Father, the Son,
If
the
I
Holy
may,
Spirit.
if I may,
That's why.
I
Hold on. And that's why I clarified there are two different directions you can go. You can accept it from an atheist perspective, as Jesus was just a person and a teacher, and we have his teachings. Would he be happy with the way people understood his teachings? Or if you accept it as the Trinity in and of itself, then you have to accept that it's the full God, Holy Spirit, and Jesus. And would they inevitably be happy with the way we're applying their thoughts?
I personally would prefer to include both the atheistic view and the Christian view, because it clearly exposes the hypocrisy within the Christianity view. Now they want me, definitely Clay, who is Christian, wants me to try to separate from the Christian view and separate God the man, as the atheists believe.
Clay,
Well,
go
if we
ahead.
separate it, sorry.
Clay, go ahead.
So this is the problem, right? Not everybody
Jesus, the man.
believes that your Trinity is that Jesus, right?
Oh my God!
So
Can I answer the question?
no,
Hold on.
you can't.
We're gonna let Clay go. We're gonna let Zers go. Then we're gonna let Dusty go.
I have a third option, which is that
What
Jesus
is
was
it?
a man, right? Jesus was
Okay.
a man, and that he was sent to the earth in spirit form. Before that, he was someone else. Now,
Right,
if you
God.
establish that he's God, you can do that. I don't believe that he created himself. I just don't believe that. Now, if we're going to talk about whether he
Now remember this, he doesn't believe that God created himself. Later, Adam and Eve is going to come up, and I'm going to describe that we inherited the properties of Adam and Eve, not God. He's going to seem to take some other take on it. You just said God. You have a hard time believing he would have created himself.
he approves of what his followers are doing, and you say that, oh, well, these churches and these people who say they are part of Christ, well, Christ said, I do not know you for these types of people. So yes, he does approve of what his followers are doing, but if just because somebody says I'm a follower of Christ doesn't mean that they actually are a follower of Christ.
Now, if we separate the Trinity, as you said, into three separate things, the Holy Spirit, I really can't really, I can, but I'd have to have it as a Trinities. But if we go as the Father being God, and the Son being the man on earth, I would have to argue that we view God entirely in a different way than what God should be. The man on earth should have the emotional, the anger, the sadness, the need for recognition. The God would not necessarily have those because he would be perfect in every way. I don't understand how we can look at something that would be a God and put man properties upon it.
Well, the Old Testament says God is jealous. God gets jealous. God gets angry. So that's established. Like he's got all those things.
Yeah, I know. Those are kind of strange human properties that would kind of be a little imperfect.
Which again, I agree doesn't make sense because if you get angry or jealous, right, those are risk responses, and what could be a threat to God?
Right.
So you're establishing that man's properties are now God's properties, but it's actually the other way around. God's properties are given to man.
I could have just swore you just said God wouldn't have made himself. No.
I wasn't. Nobody said anything against that. That's Like,
No,
not-
Zerzuzzi did, and that's why he just said
No, I
no.
don't think
Just a
God's
little bit more.
properties were given to man. I think the properties of Adam and Evil that or Adam and Eve, Adam and Evil. Sorry, a little bit of a Freudian slip there. I think the properties of Adam and
Freudian
Eve,
slip.
right?
Evil women are
Freudian.
evil.
Go ahead,
But
Zers.
I
Go
think
ahead.
the properties of Adam and Eve are what we more inherited with our after they learned of. If you're going to take this story, after they learned of the
Not too good, Neil.
of the sin, then we acquired that. Instead,
Can I answer after?
outside of that is everything that the knowledge of nudity, the knowledge of, I guess, would be happiness, even, because how did they know they were happy in the garden? We don't. No, this is actually a bit of a puzzling question. How did they know? How do we know they were happy? Now, of course, it would be a happy place if you had no death, no anger, no fighting, no sickness. You know what I mean? But then what would be happy? Happy would just be existence. If there's none of these things that make them imperfect, which is us, there would just simply be existence. I don't see any exact reference in the Bible that they were ecstatic or sad or anything.
I bet it says they were
they were
happy
doing
in
something
there.
wrong.
I bet it says they were
probably
happy.
does. It probably does. It also
says,
Yeah.
and
talks
God
about
saw that it
dragons
was
and
good.
unicorns. Good and happy are two different things.
It says, and God saw that it was good. It was actually from God that it was established that it was good.
Do we know it was from
That
God?
doesn't
We
necessarily
know
mean
that
it's
it was
happy.
written by man.
Go ahead, Neve. I know you wanted to chime in. Everybody else
Oh,
is
yeah.
just being rude and interrupting.
Sorry.
I was going to say, if your theological underpinning doesn't allow you to answer this question, then you should just not answer it and stop boring us with the semantics of the question. Holy fuck. But I think from, Zeruz, Clay, I mean, the list can go on.
Whatever.
But to address the actual conversation, to address the actual question that was asked, because I'm able to answer the question, I think that the way the religious Christians are tied into the state, I think that for one is really problematic. And I also think that there is a critical lack of humility in our religious movements nowadays. So those are my biggest, I would say, critiques of why I think that Jesus would probably think we all suck.
Well, shucks, I was trying to turn it into a full conversation, not just a little simple answer. Oh, darn. On a debate channel. Why would I do that? Nave, I like you. I do. I don't know why you don't like me. But basically what I am doing is showing that their faith is very, very weak. And I will be explaining that Jesus would spit on them. The Holy Ghost would spit on them. And God would spit on them.
All right, go ahead, Clay.
I would say that you're discounting a large portion of the population.
I guess I was doing a pretty good conversation, seeing that he's still talking to me.
That actually can attest to this. Whether it's true or not is
Attest.
not up to you. It's an objective truth.
How much you want to bet when I challenge on him on how he can attest that the Bible was written by God? How he can attest to that? He won't be able to answer.
But if you want to go subjective with it,
Oh shoot! I think a commercial cuts me off on it.
Come on, let him finish, Flo. Come on, you
He's
know
moving
this.
past it.
It's then when he's done, then you can interrupt.
If you want to go subjective with it, which is our establishment of truth, then yeah, sure, we can argue all day about whether the true Christians are these people or that people, blah, blah, blah. But then we're really doing disservice to what that objective truth would be.
Yeah, I think Nave's cool.
I don't know how that attaches to anything.
I know.
I agree, and well, you said that you can attest to it,
Yeah,
and
use your-
that the sad thing that I don't understand how you're saying you can attest. Yeah, the commercial ended up cutting me off there. I asked him if he can attest to it, and he doesn't I don't understand how he can say that he attests to. Did he see the God put his pen on the paper and write it, or did he see the God implant the thoughts into the minds of the person that wrote the Bible? What are you attesting to? You said you can attest or make testament. He never came up with an answer. I'm kind of sad that a commercial blipped it, but that's fine.
He or one of the writers disliked tattoos, and tons of people get tattoos about him. Also, they dislike the gays people because they didn't know better because old timey
wimey stuff.
Old time I don't know, something
Says,
like that.
I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why.
Oh, okay.
Like old school. I don't know.
Old something. I don't know what that emoji
Old
is.
time,
They don't
time.
old time. I
Old
don't
time.
know.
I don't know why.
Okay, that's fair. Go ahead, Flo. I interrupted you.
Oh yeah, I don't remember anymore. But I think that the question's very easy to answer unless you're pedantic as shit.
Yeah, I'm a bit pedantic.
Jesus would not be happy with Christianity today because
I like pointing
his
out the
whole thing was against
before I answer
organized
the
religions,
question.
and now like the Sadducees and Pharisees. Now he, in his name, there's the biggest religion on earth. So I don't think he'd be happy with that.
The rich man will never make it to heaven, and it seems like the churches and the parishioners are seeking wealth. When you go into the church, everybody's dressed in their best duds. I know people who actually have separate cars that they drive.
True story. He
specifically to
drives
church
down the
on
road
church
every
days.
day.
I'm talking
or
about a
every
guy that
Sunday.
has like a 1924. I don't know. It's a long one of those. You expect the guy to hop out in a zoot suit. That's what he's going to church in because he believes that it brings him closer to God somehow.
Well, they've twisted it around into the prosperity gospel, meaning
So
that
I think-
the more shit you have, the more blessed you are.
Yeah, so I think God
Materialistic
and
viewpoint of it.
Jesus and the Holy Spirit would absolutely spit on what Christianity has become today.
Oh, I'd like to answer.
You like how I get to my
say
answers?
that I think it was. What would Jesus? I think it said, think of his followers. So I have to think that that's talking about Christians. I think he'd be pretty much disappointed in them. One, I think, generally speaking, most Christians think they're better than other people. I mean, their religion is the one. The other people are either going to hell. They didn't accept this. They didn't certain weird shit that everybody else is doing but them. That's an elitist position through the gate. And I think Jesus would say, don't give me all the glory and power. Every time he did a miracle and stuff, he said, I can't do this. It was God, wasn't me. And they've turned him into God. I don't think he'd be happy with those two things.
I'm with that second part for sure.
But are they really Christ's
go ahead.
followers?
Go ahead.
Are they really Christ's followers if that's what they're doing? If they're doing all those things that you're saying, and Christ said, don't do these things, are they really following the Christ? That's my point. Like, how can you call them Christians? Like, even you as an atheist, really, how are you calling them a Christian? You know that these things are not what he approved of.
Yeah, this dude's wanting us to pick through the weeds. But do you notice how much calmer? We're an hour into this, an hour and 28 minutes. Do you notice how much calmer this panel is since she dropped the Andrew Wilson turd?
Because
What
they
do you mean by
We're able to have
Just
conversations without emotional ploys. There's not tons and tons of questions about, hey, define this and define that and give me a prescription and give me it's regular debate type conversation.
Title. Yep.
Why is the critique not valid with just people who self-identify as Christians? Like, why get into the semantics?
Right.
You provide me with a criteria. Break, hold on. You provide me with a criteria that disqualifies a certain section of people who regard themselves as Christians, and you still have the issue with there being like however many denominations and interpretations, and then your own emotions and your own memory applying this scripture. Like all of these things to say, like,
I'm gonna try to I'm gonna attempt to explain it to you without all the quote unquote emotions where you try to discredit me, saying it's all emotional. No, what I
He does that to himself.
45,000 different Christian denominations.
I wish you would. I wish.
Hold on,
Clay,
hold
I
on,
wish you
hold
would
on, hold
engage
on,
with
hold
the
on, hold on.
critique.
Go
I
ahead,
wish you would
Clay.
engage with. I wish you would engage with the critique instead of misframing what I'm saying.
An attempt to discredit me by saying all it's just emotional and all that stuff is not going to work on me. Okay, I've been on these panels for a while.
You sound emotional.
So the duck and the chicken cannot be the same thing. We are going to separate those things. A duck is a duck and a chicken is a chicken. So when you read the scriptures, okay, and you say these things aren't the things that Christ
in
taught, and then you say those people who claim to be the Christians are doing those things that Christ taught not to do, and you're going to still call them Christians. How does that make sense?
What Brick? Who did you think when the
because
question said
the
would he be
standard-
happy with his followers? Who do you think they were referring to in the question? Is that the word they use, Sarah, with his followers?
Yeah, he's quite literally trying to get us to pick through the weeds and figure out who's Christian and who's not Christian.
Is if Jesus did exist, would he be happy with the way his followers are?
His followers. Who are his followers, Brick, if not Christians?
Indeed. Christians, right? Now you
As
can
we
sit
said
here,
Christians.
yes, Christians, right? So you can sit here and read the scriptures and find out for yourself whether that is true or not. The answer is in the question. They're Christians. Yes, the answer is yes, because the people that you keep claiming are Christians, by your own admission, are not doing the things that are footstep followers of Christ.
Wait a minute. That's the primary
That's two
body
different
of the
things.
church and most churches today. That's the primary body that we're describing of
So the
a lot of
He
Christians.
is no, Brick,
um,
your argument is
Catholic.
insincere. I'm sorry, let me interrupt you. His argument sucks. He is saying that only if you follow Jesus are you a follower. So
Well, he's
are
trying
you a
to-
true Christian? So now the
Right.
question is Jesus happy with the people who do the shit he's happy with? The question
Joe-
now loses form.
Joe, what I think he's trying to do
Somebody,
is get us
if I
to
may
pick through the
interrupt
weeds
just
and
for a moment,
separate
somebody
out
has
who's Christian and who's
somebody
not.
has a feedback coming back. It sounds like Anyways, go. So I apologize. Go ahead.
That he's expecting us to pick through the weeds to find the clover leaf, should you say,
Yes.
or to pick through the hay bale for the needle. Clay. Don't nod along. You're expecting
Yeah,
us to
you're
pick
right.
through and find
Okay.
out who is the Christian and who isn't.
45,000
I wanna
Christian
get this.
Judgment is
Hold
God's.
on. Let him finish his fucking thought.
When the
Gosh. Go ahead,
right,
Bruce.
thank you. When most of the people in the world, when they attach Christians to this, which is all they're looking at, the Catholics, they're looking at the Protestants, they're looking at all of the religions, and it seems that they're all going in a primary direction where a lot of them argue for forcing by law Christianity, which is definitely not. Jesus never forced. Jesus always gently pried, gently nudged.
He caressed.
Yes.
All right, Flo, I know you wanted to add in there. Would you like to do it now?
Yeah, I think that Jesus said there's one way to get into heaven, and that is through me. So in my mind, anybody who self-identifies counts as that. The desire to, or the I don't even know if desire is the right word. The instinct to then meddle around with deciding who is a real Christian and who isn't, that Brick displayed, put yourself in God's position. That's actually Luciferian. So you're behaving
I'm
in a
not-
Luciferian manner.
Hold
in
on.
pursuit of
Don't interrupt
Christianity.
him.
Good job.
Don't interrupt him. Like Clay
Lucifer's
and Flo
fall
are
from
the worst
heaven.
at this. Go ahead, Flo.
Lucifer's fall from heaven. As you interrupt me, Lucifer's fall from heaven
Busted.
was because he tried to be God, and only God can judge souls. Brick. So, congratulations, you're behaving Luciferian in service of Christ. Go ahead.
It's wonderful that you have accused me. I never said that. I never said that I'm
He's
going to sit here and
he's
judge.
got a real accusation problem. There's a point in this later, I don't know, it's probably another hour away, where he says something about no one would ever turn down a free trip to Antarctica. And immediately I thought, final experiment. The hell if they won't. The flat earthers all turn down a free trip to Antarctica.
Who is and isn't Christian. I'm just saying that there are people who are and aren't Christian. And just because someone claims to be Christian doesn't mean that they are Christian.
Okay.
I can claim to be a duck.
How do you know?
I can claim to be a duck,
how
but
do
am
you
I a duck?
know
No, duck is not here. Brick is.
How do you know that God is going to look at the people who self-identify as Christian and knock some of them out of the ranks?
Well, I have to assume that if he's God, he's intelligent enough to figure out who needs to be knocked out of the goddamn ranks.
There
How do
you
you know
go.
who is and isn't a Christian?
That's the Lucifer in you.
Really? Really? Okay.
Yes.
How? That I
He's
believe
intelligent
that
enough to know who needs to get locked up. Like you're insinuating that if he doesn't, that if he has a different decision, then he's the stupid one, which is crazy.
What? That's not what I said. I said I assume that if he is God, he's got to be intelligent enough to figure out how to separate the wheat from the chaff.
Right, but what if? But if he doesn't, right? If he lets everybody who self-identifies into heaven, then does that mean he's stupid?
Ask him, not me. I told you I'm not the one judging. I have to assume he knows. I have to. If I believe.
You
All
assume
knowledge
that
is belief
you
anyway.
know. You assume that even though Jesus said there's one way to get to heaven, that's through him, right? Jesus laid out one rule. You think that you know better than Jesus, and God has to be as smart as you, right? So he will make the right
all
choice.
knowledge is belief.
At no point did you go, you know what? Maybe I am judging outside of, I'm outside of my lane here.
No, maybe I'm just reading the scriptures and you're not.
This is baked into like every religious cake, though. Like every religion splits off and into sects, and every sect thinks that the other sect is not the true vision or doesn't have the true answer. Christians are no
Right.
different. They're not the monolith. Every single group thinks that the other group aren't actual Christians.
No,
That's why I keep yelling to
not my
interrupt.
argument. That is not even close to my argument. I don't give a damn about what the sects do. I don't give a damn about what the religions do. I don't give a damn about.
We know Lucifer.
Listen. I don't care what each person does. All I'm telling you is what the scriptures say, and you keep arguing with the scriptures, not me.
That's your idol. No, I'm arguing with you because you're the one here presenting it.
telling you
I don't
what
give
the
a
word
fuck. I don't give a fuck what your idol says. You're
yeah,
not
you don't-
God. Just because
Well-
you have a book doesn't make you God. It's your idol.
Allow me to be your idol of the evening. Chaos Queen reminding everyone where the fuck you are. Hashtag Mater Nation in the chat. Now light it up. Thank you so much, Chaos
Light it
Queen. I
up.
love this.
The sentiment he displayed ever in his life, right? With the "don't throw the first stone" shit. This is again an interpretation that hubristic Luciferian.
Oh, that was another commercial bump.
Says the non-Christian.
I know. I'm not
Ezron.
Luciferian like you all.
I'm sure you have a thought to add in on this one. Neve's devices just went out, so I'm sure you have something to add in. What say you, Azvaron?
Regarding Christianity or like
Well, the question is, if Jesus did exist, would he be happy with the way his followers are today?
my story will sound crazy if I tell this, but I will say it because Jesus Christ still exists. He's in the astral realms, and this event happened recently in Liberia. In Liberia, actually, like what happened was that there were two factions.
Oh yeah, by the way, warning, bullshit alert. This story comes from India.
One headed
I'm sorry, that's where all the hoax and scams and everything come from.
by Samuel Doe and one headed by Charles Taylor. Charles Taylor's faction represented the freed slaves from the US who established a constitution there in Liberia. Samuel Doe represented the craft people of Liberia, the tribals. when they were engaged in a war, he had a priest who would perform human sacrifices called Joshua Bly, and his acts were so atrocious that the church actually prayed to God to intervene in this matter and free themselves from his satanic control. So then Jesus Christ really appeared in front of him and said that if you don't repent for what you've done, and if you don't confess for all the sins that you've committed, you'll actually have to suffer and die actually. And then like he repented and he left his satanic ways of human sacrifice. He surrendered to Jesus Christ and he told, what can I do? And Jesus Christ told him, in today's world, very few people have me in their heart. Most of them just have me in their lips. So Jesus Christ said that you have to preach my gospel in Liberia, and that's what he's doing today. You can check it out on Vice News. General Butt Naked via Joshua Bly, and he is actually
Wait,
a
Butt
reformed
Naked
Christian now.
turned his life around. That was Butt Naked you was talking about, General Butt Naked.
Yeah.
He turned his
General
life
Butt-
around. He was a horrible dude.
I was
Yeah, he was a
I was
horrible
with you
dude,
till
and
you
he's
said
seen
Vice
Jesus
News.
Christ.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Jesus Christ is disappointed with most of the human beings today. He is for real.
We
I
made
think
Daddy
so. I don't
sad.
think I added in. I like to say that I address Clay's Christians being the followers of Jesus. I don't think that would apply because all of the other races and other religions and all of them would have to be involved in there somewhere. So as his kids, I would have to say, as most of us, period. The people who are trying to do good, I'll label them as Jesus followers today. And I'd say even in us, we're disappointed. We lie too casual. We accept too casual. We agree with hurting other people too casual. It'd be the step below Sodom and Gomorrah. He'd be very disappointed with us.
Damn.
There you
To say
go.
that God would not be happy with his children today it'd be the same thing as saying God has never been happy with his children.
He's fire
Logically
and
speaking.
brimstone. As
I
Varun.
agree.
All right. Let's go ahead and wrap this topic up with a pretty little bow. I'll let everyone go around the table and give their quick, uninterrupted,
That was mine. I'm
unre-engaging
good.
thoughts. You're good, Joe.
Yeah.
All right. Trippy, your final thoughts on the topic?
I mean, I often wonder about this stuff. Like, do all denominations across Christianity have a core belief, or are they all exactly the same? Like, it's all
You know
different,
which
right?
one it is. You
But there
know
is
it.
supposed to be a core belief. That's what I believe, right? So, you know what I mean? Like, I'm
I
I'm
do.
just kind of getting into the belief and the religiousness, and I will probably still swear just like a
Run
sailor.
away.
And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I
Very
don't have
good.
too much of a thing. So there you go.
Okay. Clay, to you, your final kick on that one.
Yeah, I would say that the answer is in the question because if they are followers of Christ, then they are doing what he's saying, and he also said that you would know them by the fruits, and those fruits are described in Galatians, and so anybody who sits there and lumps in those people who and you can say it.
You know, another thing I keep hearing about how there's so many more rich. The more that you do on earth, the better, the more riches you get in heaven. Does that mean heaven has a ghetto?
It's judging all day long. I'm saying if you are lumping those people who aren't doing it correctly and then putting them in the same category, you, my friend, are the one playing Lucifer.
Where's the white
Who's
blanket?
the white blanket? Who's next?
Go ahead, Zers. Whoever's got
You
people
might want to
talking
mute
in the
him
back.
up.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, I had the mute button on. I believe I said it pretty much clearly when we all know when we're talking about who claim Christianity or those who feel in their heart Christian
they're
and
Christian,
claim
yeah.
Christianity. We're talking about the people who claim Christianity as a whole, and I think that I said it very clearly that God would spit on you.
Flo, you thought I was ours.
Flow to you.
I mean, yeah. Okay, so, Brick, you've had time to look up those fruits. Can you just go ahead? We'll make it simple. Can you name the ones only that have objective measurements? Go ahead.
Love, joy, peace, kindness, I know self.
I like this. Show me
None
true
of those
love.
have objective measurements.
So you say.
I just went through
tell me
about
how to
4
measure
of
one
them.
of them.
I can go through like the first few, like real quick, and then I would actually have to look them up. I never did look them up.
Love.
Okay.
Love,
I'll,
joy,
I'll
peace,
tell you, none of them have objective measurements. None of them do. So these fruits,
Love
they're
is
pure
interject-
subjectivity. It's
Hold
you
on.
cannot measure. You can. I'm not demonstrating 3 loves right now. There's no way to,
Are we
to quantify any of
I
them.
mean, come
Hold on. I know he asked you a question, but now it's his turn to finalize his thought.
So, this is part of the issue with your idol, the Bible, and with religions in general, is they do invite this sort of Luciferian.
Yeah, they
behavior where you
blocked one
think
of
that you're
Tom's texts
acting on
that
God's
was-
behalf or according to God's demands, when really you just read a fucking book that lulled
Oh,
you into being a
dear God.
douchebag.
See,
The one that
That's all.
unalives babies and
Cry me a river.
commits atrocities.
I'm not
All right,
crying, I'm just pointing
Asvarun,
out how you're Luciferian.
Asvarun, any final thoughts from you on that topic?
Yeah, I mean, like God and divine beings and demonic beings are true, but I just feel that the priestly class in every religion have corrupted religions all over the world to suit
Yep.
their own needs, and hence the problem is that they've made it in such a way that we have to go through them to see God. But if you want to go and attain God, you have to do it on your own. You have to forget about the priests. The priestly class in every religion are like very corrupt. They misuse whatever is given in the religion for their own benefits and for their own families. That is the main
Weary
problem.
of the man in the road.
well said, Pep.
All right, and Joseph, to you.
Yeah, I'll just reiterate. I haven't seen. I find it hard to believe that the nature of man has changed. So the question is the same question: has God ever loved or has ever been happy with mankind? And I don't know. That's a tough one. So
Okay.
that's kind of what I'd say.
All right, that's easy. We're going to run through some fun ones. Quick yes or no or options or whatever. Just to kind of cleanse the palate. 6-pack bod or dad bod? Now, I know you are all men.
Thank you.
But
This whole segment's kind of
do
funny.
you think one is better than the other? Flo, go.
I'm all for the dad bods because, well, you know you got to promote yourself, so dad bods all the way.
Fair enough. Zers, to you.
Yeah, I'll go with Flo with the dad bod just because, why not? Dad bod.
Ant, to you.
Well, 6-pack would indicate you're in better physical health, so I'd say that's probably better. But I don't have strong feelings either way.
Fair enough. Effigy, to you.
We got to get some dad bod positivity going.
Fair enough. Clay, to you.
Neither.
Ooh, neither. All right.
You
Why
know,
the
step your
hold on?
belly.
Why
That's
the
not an
fuck did
option.
my goal? Why
Wait.
did my go? Hold on. Why did my goal end uncompleted, incompleted? It happen or else. All right. My apologies, Clay. Dad bod or 6-pack?
Neither.
Neither.
Wait. Let's not let him take
You can
neither.
answer the
Let's not
question
let him
without
take
being gay.
neither. Let's say it was you.
Yeah.
Which would you prefer, a dad bod or the 6-packs? It's not that hard to answer this question. I don't know why he's being such a little child.
I have neither.
It's not the question.
Why
So
are you
dad
the only
bod.
one on the panel who's so insecure with his sexuality he
Or
can't answer the
badass.
question?
Oh, he's not the only one. I'm straight. I probably wasn't gonna kick in either. I can't say dad
So,
bod. I can't take
you-
position on dad bod. It's a gay term.
You two are the ones with a
Or
tenuous grasp on
even,
your sexuality.
would you prefer to have on
Sounds kind of gay.
yourself dad bod or 6-pack?
And I would still say neither.
Oh, you're gay. Trippy cast to you.
I
See, he
now
is
know
gay.
what
Good for
everyone's
Sarah.
Here to answer the
wallpaper is
question.
on their computer. Okay, I know what all your wallpapers are. I'll say like I already have the dad bod, but I'd like the 6-pack. So like I want to transist. You know, I want to be trans. But no, that's the wrong way to put that. But no, yeah, I'd like to work out and get up there. You know, I did it on purpose.
Chat, as a reminder to you, you have 13 minutes for somebody to hit that one goal, or I'm fucking going to bed. I'm disappointed. I normally don't have to. They win, but not if they fail on the goal. You are going to take a very massive L here in 13 minutes if somebody doesn't fix it. No, they have 15 minutes to fix it. I've got Alex Kirsch
Fuck that
backstage
chat.
as
No,
well.
I got. Hold on, Sarah. I got your back. Fuck you, chat. Do better. You guys suck. Fucking losers.
Sounds emotional.
Listen, to the chat, you got 12 minutes.
Actually
Fucking
wasn't.
fix it. And then because now I'm a very unhappy tomato. You had 7 out of 10, and you let the goal go out, and you know better. I'm gonna sit here and mom lecture all of you. All right, Trippy, you gave your answer correct. We just finished the thought. All right, Joe
I'm a
Cool.
Could not possibly care less about.
You should
some
drop everyone
dude's
backstage
bod.
except
I
for
don't
Brick
care
and
if
have them
he's
listen to Brick
fat.
read Bible
I don't
verses.
care what he looks
Hold on.
like. I don't care about some dude's body, man. Do what you like.
What about yours, Joe? Do you want to have a dad bod or a 6-pack?
I think that means fat. It probably doesn't mean fat. I'm not even sure what it means. I'm
A dad bod
58. I don't need a
like-
6-pack.
So a dad bod is like where he's not exactly fit, but he's not a lard ass either. He's got some extra cushion because he's been
I don't want to be fat if
dad.
you're asking my personal preference, but I don't have a problem with everybody else fucking being fat. You know, I don't have a problem with that shit. Personally, no, I don't want to fuck out of my knees. Don't need that extra shit. Fuck that.
Fair enough. Joseph, to you, sir.
If I had to pick one or the other, I'd say dad bod. I have no desire whatsoever to have a 6-pack, and a couple extra pounds is fine. I like food.
I like food too. As Varun, to you.
I am into rock climbing, so I need a 6-pack actually. Otherwise, without that core strength, I can't climb. So I'm for the 6-pack.
It's only the 6-pack.
And he always brings a 12-pack.
That's fair.
So,
nah.
All right.
So did Sarah answer?
never
I
does.
like 6-packs, but I also don't mind a mild dad bod. All right, here we go. Without breaking too
Fireman alert.
TOS, who has the darkest joke in the panel? And we're gonna do these one-offs until
Oh, you want me
somebody
to tell it?
fucking fixes that goal and saves the chat from destruction. Because I'm pissed now. I'm absolutely pissed. Yeah.
I
Go
bet
ahead.
you I got
We will let
There you
the
go.
chat.
How
We
do
will
you-
let the chat vote on who has the best, darkest joke. Go ahead. Flo.
How do you get 10 babies into a bucket? A
With the
blender.
pitchfork.
How do you get them out?
Oh shit.
Oh, it was
Doritos.
later. Never mind.
Oh. Doritos.
My bad. We're probably not supposed to answer, right?
What's red and blue and knocks on windows?
Joe's.
I mean, you can
kryptonite
take a
police
guess.
officer.
What's red and blue and knocks on windows?
Right. I was thinking,
A baby in the
Police
microwave.
officer says. Baby in the microwave.
Oh my god.
Zip zap.
All right. I think I got a darker one.
No, I don't
This is
believe
how
I'm
I'm
blocked
talking.
on Maters.
I got one. What,
I'm gonna-
what's the difference between a dump truck full of dead babies and a dump truck full of bowling balls?
Don't know what's the difference.
You can't unload a dump truck of
Can't get
bowling
the
balls.
bowling
with a
balls out with a
pitchfork.
pitchfork. Look at
I
Asvaroon's
guess
sadistic smirk. I saw that, Asvaroon.
Sarah, what is the TOS on this type of thing? Like, what do you mean? Just don't say bad words, or
Yeah, you know what
Go
TOS
read the
is.
book, motherfucker.
Oh no.
Mine's really weak. I gotta try harder, but you
Why are
keep
there no
waking up.
jokes about the Jonestown massacre?
You keep waking up and
Well,
the
the
chickens in
punchline
the.
is too long.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
Oh no, Tom's
Okay.
message
I
got
remember you,
blocked.
Alan.
Here, he put in a message here and it got blocked by YouTube.
You keep waking up and you go to check the chicken coop and the chickens are dead every time you go in there and check. What do you do?
You test it with your cock.
Yeah, you stop fucking the chickens.
Oh, you just stuck your dick in there.
That was great.
No, it wasn't. No, it
Oh,
wasn't. It
shit.
was horrible.
I don't have one, which is weird, but I really
Doesn't have without a
You
joke.
you guys kind of already did the two that I was thinking.
The clown doesn't have one. That's great. I don't either, but I guess I'll go with what's the difference between a pregnant woman and a light bulb? Everybody knows you can unscrew the light bulb, but you can't unscrew the pregnant woman.
Nice.
I thought you were going to say you can't smoke out of the pregnant woman.
Oh damn!
Oh,
Been smoking out of
You
eggs.
probably can.
Saved by
Oh.
Stacy S. because she didn't want me to keep whining. You know what though?
Stop
My
whining. Is that what she said?
My
Stop
whining got
whining.
you to tell me to stop whining with $100 tomatoes in the fucking chat for Stacy and her big win. She saved every single one of you.
Yeah, I don't even
Okay,
see it
so
in the
you
YouTube
all
studios.
need
So
to take your
YouTube
wins
took it
by
before it even got
expressing
to the
your
channel.
kind thank yous to Stacy, and so now we can all stay and play. Thank you, Stacy.
So can we
And
acknowledge that the chat doesn't always win?
they did now because Stacy paid for them to win.
But they had a loss first.
Yeah, they lost, but she bought the win. She bought the trophy.
A loss is a loss.
Mm. And Alex, are you using this to boot someone to bring yourself up, or are you just saying hello? You can text me in the back chat if you want. All right. Okay, my apologies. Did everybody? I had Uber Eats show up with my food, and he was kind of dumb on figuring out which house it was. Did everyone tell a joke?
Yeah, mine was the best.
Yes.
Did we?
It's the
agree?
darkest.
Whose was the darkest?
Fucking twisted fucks up here, Flo. I don't know. It was
About
like
babies.
somebody about babies in a dump truck.
Yeah, the bowling
Yeah.
balls was pretty bad.
He's in a dump truck. All right, chat. I will take the first 5 votes as the winner, and that winner will be protected for the next hour from getting booted off the panel. All right, whoever makes it to actually, I'll just run a poll.
Winner of the darkest joke.
Yeah. Who all told? I apologize. I did have. to
I'm not
step
on the
away.
list. My shit was.
I told 2 of them.
I told one.
Joke. All right, so we
I
got
told one.
Flo. Who else told one?
I did.
God.
Effigy.
I told one about the gas bill.
Who was that?
Joseph.
That was Joseph.
I didn't
Joseph.
have one, so I lose. I'm gonna take off. Y'all have a good night.
Yeah, I was thinking if I was going to repeat my joke, I'd have to go with you know what they call NASA? Need another 7 astronauts.
Right, Trippy. Good to see you.
Fine.
back.
Oh, Triffy.
That's a
Azrun,
dark
did
joke.
Azrun tell a
Later.
joke?
No, I didn't tell any jokes. I don't like humor. I hate jokes and humor.
Jeez, that was a good joke, Azra. Pretty dark.
Fair enough. All right. Let's see. All right. Who won the joke? Flo, Ant, Effigy, or Joseph? Whoever wins off that poll, I'll run it for 5 minutes. You get protected for the next hour. And I'm going to leave this pretty red color up on screen just so the chat can be reminded who saved their asses. Welcome, Alex. Alex actually is coming in for a show Saturday night. We moved our Throwdown Thursday. Thank you for your flexibility on that to Saturday night. So Throwdown Thursday, we will be kicking off on progressive policies with Alex, and he's going to be defending it the entire way. So all of my right wingers on there, you know where to go. Okay. Let's see. Funny one. If you could break into someone's house and not steal anything, but inconvenience them in the biggest possible way, what would it be?
I would switch their.
Oh, yeah, that was weird. But my joke ended up being take the toilet seats and their ID. Because every time they sit down in the toilet without the toilet seat, they're going to think about me. And every time, or when they have to replace their ID, it costs them $80. But unfortunately, a commercial hit there, so it blooped out my joke or my comment.
Mayonnaise and their Miracle Whip.
Turn around all their toilet rolls.
Loosen all their lug nuts.
I would tip up the flag on their mailbox every day.
That's it. That's an inconvenience to the postman, though, not to them. That flag is for the postman to know to pick something up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Good point.
Yeah.
Think do something obscure. Flip a photo in 1 or 2 rooms, something really obscure to make them think they're crazy.
I went to have a cigarette. I have no clue what we're talking about.
The question is, if you could break into someone's house and not steal anything but inconvenience them in the biggest possible way, what would it be?
That's going to cost
Copper-
80.
Copper
Yeah, that's where the
Road's
commercial
backstage, if
skip.
devices aren't connected, you gotta turn your stuff on before it'll let me bring you up on.
If I was to break into somebody's house, I would pick the most annoying sound and put it on a Bluetooth speaker and just hide it in random places throughout the house and just let it just ride and just let them just like lose their fucking mind. It could be like the most. It could be like a low pitch whistle. It could be like a sink faucet dripping, so they think that their faucet's dripping, but they're all working. So it's like just do something just to drive them nuts.
Find something that they only hear subconsciously.
You maybe think if you're not stealing shit, you can add shit. Crickets, bed bugs,
litter,
roaches, mice. You know, you can add
Or
something to make
something
it
as simple as turning all of the batteries opposite.
Yeah, that'd drive them crazy.
Then it's like, wait a minute, like there's batteries in here. Are they dead? But then everything's not working.
Is anyone not considering the fact that you could just set all of their clocks an hour forward?
That won't work. Everybody
Just
uses their
absolutely
clocks. They use their
destroy their
phones.
sense of time.
No one uses clocks in the house.
Yeah,
Everybody
that
uses
doesn't
their
work so much
phones.
nowadays.
What do you mean? You don't have any clocks? Like your phones
Cell
don't
phone.
have.
You don't
Everyone has
rely
alarms
on
on
Phones
their
are connected
phone.
to the internet and
Clocks
it
in
keeps
your
them on
house.
time.
Or you could go to their coffee machine if they drink coffee and switch the water out with vodka or something like that. That'll really fuck their day up. You know, they're like, what the fuck?
Hey, it might be happy.
But if you don't know off the first sip, then there's something wrong.
All right, Flo won the joke. So Flo, you were protected for sure for the next hour. There
Thank
you
you.
go.
I will take my protection and destroy it.
Are you leaving?
That was cool.
Really?
Yeah, that answers your question.
Fair enough. He probably got bored. All right. Let's move on to some better topics. He left after it got good. Is it ethical to use medication to enhance mood or performance?
I like it.
It's a good one.
Did someone say that? Absolutely. Did someone say that? Did I hear that right? No.
That is
Is
right.
it even in contention? Like, does anyone disagree?
This is for like sexual mood, not just
Well,
like mood stabilizers.
To enhance mood or performance. So this could be steroids. This could be
Weed.
Viagra. This could be weed. This could be even cigarettes. You know.
Then yeah, the answer is for me.
I dab, but I don't think it enhances anything. It kinda just-
Stabilizers are prescribed a lot of times, so I would say yes. Bipolar is a serious mental illness.
I would say yes. Honestly, yes. Just
Yeah,
do your
the
research.
only time it's unethical is if there's a pre-arranged agreement to not do them, right? Like in professional
sporting
sports.
event. Yep. That's all I was going to say is, professional competition or any competition for that matter, where it's, the outcome's just to see who's the best, then that would be unethical. But other than that, like if you're using performance enhancers to do your job better, how is that a bad thing?
Now you could enhance that by is the drug use causing you to do things that are unethical, such as stealing.
Yeah. Yeah, if you have to break the law or hurt others to maintain your habit, that definitely would be unethical.
That's the fun part of a habit.
I think I'm trying to steel man, like who would say no. Maybe you could say like a drug, like heroin user.
Yeah.
But I don't know over time if that would be the case.
Or if
I
ultimately
think it
you're
would-
sorry.
That's my apologies. I think it would count. I think it would just be because you're utilizing that to enhance your mood. Now your reality, your concept of reality of what that mood actually is and what it does is a totally skewed piece, but you are still utilizing it as a crutch to enhance your mood.
Another thing is if you're causing harm to yourself, regardless of what type of mood it's giving you, if it's like actually damaging your body, you know, such as like, let's say methamphetamine, if it's destroying you, then, and you continue and you know it's destroying you, you can see it every day. You can see changes after a
That's
year
messed
or
up.
two. You can
Yeah,
see
you don't want to make the cat mad.
major
That's for
changes,
sure.
and you continue to do it. Then it becomes unethical. Once it becomes harm to you and you continue.
Right. The issue that we don't sell painkillers over the counter is an ethics issue, you know, more than like a health hazard.
Tylenol is a painkiller.
They are.
I mean like narcotic painkillers. So
But they are.
like Vicodin
I
or
know. I
Oxycontin.
was just making a.
They'll be wondering why the cat's, you know, retaliating.
A funny.
If
Oh,
you
my
take
bad.
too many of them,
Autism.
you can unalive.
He's one of the best baseball players of all time, and
Mark McGuire, all them
Yeah, now we start getting into the meat of the subject where they're talking about, you know, using it for athletic abilities.
cats. Yeah.
yeah.
What if I'm a
Basically,
dude?
now they all have an asterisk next to every record they have because
Yeah.
and it's just widely known that all of them just have an asterisk because
And for me, I would have to use ethics. So the way I originally thought about it was morally. Ethics requires morals. I didn't necessarily look up the definition right away, but once it was challenged, I did look up the definition.
no one actually believes they were that good.
Well, the problem with steroids though is not just because of like it gives you unfair advantage, because there's actual like aggressive tendencies. Like it gives you a higher degree of like testosterone, which makes you more prone to anger and more prone to violence. This is something that we've seen over time. So
Yeah.
that's the only reason why like
Rage
steroids.
videos.
Yeah, that's why like
What
steroids
a-
was used to be a bad thing. But like things like for example, if you take like an antidepressant but it actually makes you happier and makes you function actually better, I could see the possibility of that actually being better.
Are there sports that it might be beneficial to
You
use
could say the same thing about alcohol. Like a depressed person takes alcohol and they say, "Oh, it makes me feel happier, so it's good for you," even though it's a legitimate poison going into your body. Then
I
you
love
could
this
use
poison.
that
It's
for- you
only
could
a
use that
poison
for-
in large
oh,
amounts. No.
I love
it's
this
alcohol is a legitimate poison in the human body.
Like
That's
In
a fact.
large amounts, right? You don't mean a couple.
No,
You
in
haven't found
every,
anyone
in
to
every
take any
single
of them
facet
yet?
of any way, alcohol is a poison inside of the body.
All right,
So
I Google that.
sugar and water can also be contributed to bad health. But the thing is, like, so with wrestling, right? So we probably all recognize that those guys probably use steroids pretty regularly.
yeah, our power to sweet me sour, yeah.
But so is
All right,
that?
people-
Wrestling guys are actually drug tested regularly.
I mean, is that
Now
is that
they
a
If you're
Yeah,
talking about WWE, though, that's not really a competitive sport. That's
That's not necessarily
all-
true. You have to be in
not all the
incredible athletic
organizations
shape
of
to do
wrestling.
I'm not saying you don't have to be in good
Armstrong
shape.
Lance
Not all-
Armstrong was
Not all
tested
wrestling
regularly.
organizations follow the same rules. So if you go to a different country, you're probably going to find out very quickly that some of those guys use steroids. Would it be beneficial though? And like, I mean, because the thing is they're just putting on a show, right? Now it is real. It is real. There's real action going on. I believe we're all familiar with all
Beneficial wasn't the question.
what's this guy's
Ethical
name?
was.
Apparently, we're not all familiar.
Brock Lesnar.
Talking about the guy
Yeah.
that just got arrested
I have
for
no idea.
beating the brakes off the guy.
Christian something, the guy who killed somebody.
I mean,
He didn't kill
there's real aspects to it, and they're really throwing each other
Yes.
around. They're really striking each other. But the fact is that they are putting on a show, and so if they're some of them, if they're not taking these
Talk about Owen Hart.
answers, they're not going to be able to do their job to put
Well,
on that show.
everybody knows
Jeff
that
Hardy,
Hulk Hogan.
Jeff Hardy is a really good example of that. Actually, WWE Jeff Hardy, they released him multiple times because of this issue where he would take drugs and WWE, when you make spots like that, yes, it's scripted, fake, you do moves, but the moves have consequences. Say you throw someone too far, they can land
Hit
on
him
their
too
neck, and
hard.
break their neck, stuff like that. Jeff Hardy had multiple instances where he would put other wrestlers in dangerous positions because he would do drugs and he wouldn't remember the spots he was supposed to take, the way to actually catch a person on a downfall to protect them.
right.
That's a problem. Is if they were taking drugs during that time, they might either mess up the spot or they would do something wrong during the spot, which can cost. What you saw, I don't know if you guys follow WWE that much. One of the guys in WWE, Rich Holland, he got banned from WWE because he was under drugs at the time. And Big E, who had just had a WWE championship, he messed up his throw. It was supposed to be a normal German suplex, like grab him by the stomach, throw him over his head.
Right.
And he didn't throw him far enough because he didn't have the energy after coming down from a high. And he accidentally dropped him on his neck and snapped his spine.
Oh my God.
His neck. And the guy can never wrestle ever again.
All right, man.
Because it's just
See you
not
when you
safe
get
for him.
back. Good luck.
Stuff like that can happen if drugs become involved, and even sports where it is a performance type area, that can absolutely happen. So
Isn't
drugs can
Isn't
absolutely.
that kind of the same thing as saying like drinking and driving? So the issue is just don't drive.
No.
No, as far as ethical, when we're
So
talking
about
about
ethics
ethical,
and enhancing.
when we're talking about ethical, would you say that ethical would mean like what would be morally proper? And when
Technically,
you're
there's
talking
a-
about when you're talking about using drugs,
My understanding.
oh yeah, it skipped out. What happened was I said when talking about using drugs to like let's say take a trophy away from somebody or a championship. I can't remember which word I used. Away from somebody. Wouldn't it be immoral to do that? And Joe was trying to explain to me that he didn't think that's the way ethical was used.
And I'd like to add on the first to both of these things together. The first part, is it okay to take them to enhance your mood or whatever? And the second one, to enhance your sports.
The full video
What
is
if,
over
I
on
take 'em
Sarah's
for my
channel.
mood?
I recorded it
I'm
with
I'm a
commercials.
chick. I take the hormones. I'm a trans chick. I did it to help my mood. I feel better. Is-
At this moment, I started looking up ethical to see if it was talking about morality. It does.
I know people gonna have a problem with that, but let's assume that part was ethical. Now I feel like I'm a woman and I join women's sports. Did I just become unethical by
completely
taking the
unethical.
So
drugs?
cool. According to
completely
the Oxford Dictionary, or I would say, I just looked this up now that you mentioned that you're not sure if that's the definition of it. It most certainly talks about a moral breach in principles.
And biological men playing in women's sports is completely unethical.
Oh my God,
In
this
the
guy
way
always
that
drops into this
it's just not
conversation.
fair. Bone density, strength is biologically stronger.
Nobody was
Even
talking
if you
about
take
that.
hormone blockers, it's
Always
still.
find a way back to fucking trans, AP.
First of all, I didn't bring it up. Someone else
Transition.
brought
Yeah, basically, yeah. Nobody else brought it up. You brought it up. And from that,
someone else brought it up.
Scratch.
Someone else brought it up. I was just saying it was a biological difference even with blockers. So it
I didn't hear anybody else bring it up. Did you?
becomes just a ethical inconsistency that tears a woman's sport down.
So what
It
about
doesn't-
supplements?
It
What
just
about
it doesn't give them the opportunity that they
That's a
deserve.
good one.
Well,
What about
with natural supplements, now that's where I'd have to wonder if natural supplements would have if that's not necessarily a
We may have to
immorality
call it a
thing or
drug,
an
though.
ethical. But it depends on if you call it a drug, which we've already determined that maybe weed is possibly a drug. So if
Most
we're going to
pharmaceuticals
go
are
with
derived
weed and
from things that are
alcohol, then
in
we may
nature.
as well
Gibby has arrived.
throw in the rest. So that was an argument and a
Give us your best impression.
Here comes
Give
the
us it.
clown.
Mr. Admiral Gibbs, the big daddy.
The cream of the crop is here. Here. You know, I was hearing you all talking about a lot of these women's and men's sports. I'm here to tell you that the macho man doesn't care. He's an equal opportunist. That's why they call me the strong woman here.
Oh my goodness.
The cream
rises. The cream of the rise. I'm talking about this drug. You know what he's talking about? Is weakness leaving the body. That's what this is. Heal.
Well, good thing you're here because I'm ready for a topic shift, actually.
So, anybody want me to end this and finish it up tomorrow? We're well into 2 hours and there's still another half of it left. It gets a lot more fun towards the end. What do you guys think? Maybe we should just pull it down. I do have a lot of fun going up on these panels. And if you notice, have you noticed that the atmosphere on the panel is a lot different than the atmosphere when the Andrew Wilson ding-dongs were there? When they were, I mean, there was always this contention over what a word meant. Where I used the definition was different. It was, I was trying to tie morality into brain part. Anyway, so yeah, I think maybe I'll pull this down now, and then tomorrow we'll start from about here where she changes the topic. Then we go into the Queen is the royal family lizard people or whatever. I didn't really care too much for that topic because I've heard it so many times. It's so rehearsed. Every single line of it. Everybody says the same thing over and over and over again. What I found interesting was the Charlie Kirk incident with supposedly somebody saying that there were cell phones that were purchased in Israel. Well, being a school with exchange students, I imagine there's phones that were purchased in Ireland and phones that were purchased in France and London. And anyway, as always, you guys are awesome. Remember, you don't have to be wise. Just don't submit to stupid. Thank you very much, and have a good night. Did I do this wrong?
It's a tough game we play on this platform you crave, chasing clicks and likes in the digital wave. With each upload, our stories unfold in a world where the truth is often sold. Oh, screw to the land of the brave, where the algorithms rule and views we crave. From viral highs to simpleton trolls, in this digital realm, anything goes. Friendships tested in the quest for fame. Content creators, most have no shame. With every collab there's trust at stake, but in this world some friendships break. Ooh, anything goes. Screw to the land of the brave, where the algorithms rule and views we crave. From viral highs to simpleton trolls, in this digital realm, anything goes.